Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to CHAS and Friends, episode number 13 this time
Ooh, ooh.
around.
Lucky
Lucky number
number.
13, exactly. And I've got Ercy here from Cersei's Booked,
Hey.
and so excited to have her on. I highly recommend you check out her channel, like and
Thank
subscribe,
you.
show her all the love. And I'll let Ercy talk a little bit about her channel, and then you guys know the drill. We just kind of talk about whatever.
Yes. So, yeah, my name is Ercy and my channel is called Cersei's Booked. I know it's different from my name, but you know, we can get into that later too. But um but yeah, I just talk about books on my channel. I do a lot of kind of the standard booktube stuff where I do book hauls and what I'm reading, what I plan on reading. My reading taste is a little bit all over the place. So um, I think, there's a lot of people that do like very specialized stuff and, they just stick to like fantasy. I'm kind of like all over the place because that's just how I am too. I'm very much like I just like a little bit of everything. So that's sort of what you get with my channel. So there's reviews, hauls, all that kind of good stuff. So I just have fun with it. It's a fun hobby.
Absolutely. And that's the
Hmm.
best part about it, best way to do it. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, well, absolutely. Get subscribed to Ercy. She's got some awesome content out there already, and I'm looking forward
Thank
to
you.
more. You're
I
you're back
know.
at it.
I know. I'm like my schedule like it opened up a lot more recently. Well, yesterday was my last day working on a Friday. So I'm like, yes, I have more days off now. Like even though
Nice.
I'll be working like a longer day on the days that I do work, but
Yeah.
it gives me more days off. So I'm really, really excited about that because then um more booktube stuff, right? Like
Hmm.
so since I had started going back to work, um it's just been like hard to like narrow down a good schedule, which is why like recently my videos have been kind of sporadic, like just because I'm trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
But now that like my schedule's opening up, I'm like, yes, like I'm with it. I'm down. I have so many things that I'm like, I felt like I missed out on. I'm like, oh, I could have done like a summer TBR. I could have done this, could have done that. And it's just like my schedule just like never allowed for it. But now it will. And I'm so happy.
That's awesome. So are you working like 4 10-hour shifts then, or?
It's like because I work at a tech company. I think I can say I work for a company that's contracted to work with Intel.
Okay.
So they do this thing called like a compressed schedule. So you work like 12, it's like 12-hour days,
Ooh.
but it's like 3 days 1 week. And then you get like you work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. And then the next week you work like 4 days and then you get 3 days off. And then it just kind of keeps going from there. So I'll either
Wow.
have like 3 days off or 4 days off in a row. And I'm like, yes, it was like the best schedule.
Wow. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good schedule.
Like it definitely, even though it's like longer working days, but even like working like 8 hours, I felt like those were working days anyways, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
Hmm.
just kind of, I don't know. It's my husband's been doing it for like a couple years, but now he's like, you know, he's been so happy about it and he's like really excited that I'm gonna be doing it with him too. So it's like, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
Hmm.
nice getting to work together and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. You work at home?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I work at the Intel
At the Intel. Okay.
facility. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
And it's
And we
like
got
oh, look at
Baron
Brian.
here from Your Brain on Books. Welcome, welcome,
Hey,
Baron.
Baron, how are you? Wanted to say hi.
Yeah, yeah,
Hopefully, you're doing
Baron's
good.
awesome.
He's got such a great channel too.
He
I really
does.
like his voice that he has. Like,
Yes.
I feel like he'd be really good at like narrating books.
I think he would too. Yeah, him and Bridger. Have you seen Bridger's videos, The Library Ladder?
No, I haven't. I haven't
Oh,
heard of this channel.
yeah.
I
You
now I'm
have
gonna write
to
it down.
he's another one that has like a great narration voice. Like,
Ooh, I love
yeah,
that. What
Yeah.
is this
So
channel called?
the Library Ladder.
Library Ladder. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wrote
It's
it
really
down.
good.
I'm gonna check them out.
Yeah. Yeah. Barron's channel and Bridger's channel are
Yeah.
both two of my favorites. Yeah. 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 Really great content and well thought out content too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I really appreciate too. Like I really
Mhm.
like when like he feels it just feels really polished, you
It
know?
does. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's got a great channel. So people who are watching, go check him out.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I always love like whenever you find someone with like a really good like narrating voice, and I always think to myself, I'm like, you should narrate books. You should get on.
Right. Exactly.
hmm That was something that I was looking into like
Mm.
maybe like last year or something, and then I was
Hmm.
like, I have such a weird list. Like, I'm like, I don't know.
Really? I haven't noticed it.
Oh, it's like
Interesting.
sometimes with it is funny because then it kind of goes into like editing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like uh as I'm editing, I'll hear myself and I'm like, why am I like why does it sound like that? And it's like it's one of those things like I notice, I don't think anybody else really knows. It's just me, like in my head.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never noticed it. I wouldn't have known if
uh
you hadn't said it. Yeah.
ah now it's gonna like you're
Now the
gonna catch
secret
it.
is out.
Like, I burst my own bubble.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
we have another one.
Oh
Theo
yeah,
from
yeah. Hey Theo,
Hey, how are you?
good to see you. Pop in and out. That's perfectly
That's
fine. Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, we're
yeah,
just chilling today. It just so happened that like the schedule was like open today, so it's nice, you
yeah.
know.
It worked out good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Editing is
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got so many cuts in my videos because I've got all the ums and ahs and
I know.
these long drawn out pauses and then if I
Yeah.
make a mistake, I usually sit there for a few minutes and let it pass and then redo it because that's
Yeah.
an easy cut right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, editing is quite the animal.
Yeah, I feel like I think I was watching it somewhere. I forget on whose channel they were talking about this. And it was just like for a hobby, it really is kind of time consuming. And it's really like the editing part of like booktube that I feel is
Mhm.
like time. Like I can film a video in like 20, 30 minutes, or if I haven't filmed the video, it'll take me a little longer. Because like you said with the ums and the or I do one of the things that I catch myself when I'm editing is you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You know what I'm
I
saying?
do that too. Yeah.
And so I try to limit that. I'm like, okay, I know like you want to have like a natural sort of speaking voice as you're booktubing, right?
Right.
But it's just I'm just like, it's too much.
I know it can be.
Yeah, look in his comment right here. I don't know how people do stuff in one take. I know, I'm the
Yeah.
same way.
I don't understand it either. And I know we were talking about Baron. I know he's mentioned to me that he tries to do his in one take and
Mhm,
doesn't do a whole lot of editing, or at least up till
mhm.
recent, maybe he hasn't done much editing. And I'm like, yeah, that's impressive. I can't do
That's
that.
talent. That's pretty cool. That's pretty talented. Like it's like those public speaking things.
Hmm.
Like you would think like because I used to teach too, and
Mm,
so it like Theo said, it's like you got to get into a flow and then you're fine. But then in
yeah,
the beginning, it's like a lot of like you're thinking too much, or at least for me, I know I think too much sometimes. And
I'm the same way. Baron is so good. Yeah.
I know his shadow's so good.
Yeah.
Theo, your channel is great too. I
It
really like your
is,
speaking
yeah.
voice too.
Yeah, Theo, your
Yeah.
channel is amazing.
Yeah, his is one that I was introduced to recently, like well, not that
Mhm.
recent, maybe like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, his is another one. I feel like even his lighting is really
Oh, man,
nice.
his
Like,
lighting is
yeah.
on fire. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
spot on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his lighting is great. I think I need I think I need lessons from Theo, because like you know our traveling book box series. My video for that, oh my goodness, my lighting was so bad. Like I looked like I had a shine going on. I'm like, what? But at that point, because the box was
Mhm.
already open, I couldn't
I know.
redo it at that point. So
I know it was the same thing with me. Like I get really like I like with the heat, I get really bad with heat, right?
mhm.
And having the lights, and it was like at the time like I got the box and Oregon was going through like a heat wave. And
Yeah, I
I
heard
was
about the heat
like,
wave.
I had to like like sit there, even just dreading. I was just dreading the lighting. I was like, these lights are gonna be so hot, they're gonna be the bane of my existence. I'm gonna be dripping in sweat like while I'm doing
Right?
this. But I was just like, you know what, whatever. Like I think the second half of the video where I was, that was like a different day because I went to go
Hmm.
pick up more books for her. And yeah, I just couldn't. It was like 100 degrees outside. But you live in Arizona.
I do. Yeah, I live in Phoenix, and it's been cooler the last few days because we got some. We're in our monsoon season, so we got a bunch of
Mm.
rain and wind and stuff like that. But like
Oh, nice.
the high today, right now, it's about 100,
Oh
which
my God.
is low for like in Phoenix.
Yeah.
The average is 110 to 115.
Oh
Uh,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Maybe sometimes 120 if it gets really bad in the shade. Yeah,
Yes.
it's insane.
I just think about like the animals that are like outside.
Oh, I
You know what
know
I
those poor
mean? Like
animals.
that's what I always think of, like whenever there's like a heat wave or like a crazy, like some kind of crazy weather system happening. I always think of like the little animals outside. I'm like, are they okay?
I know, yeah.
But
I'm sure they probably adapt, but yeah,
no, yeah,
it's crazy heat out there.
it's crazy. But I totally respect you guys that are able to like live out there. I like coming from like New York, like I'm so used to having like seasons and
Yeah,
I need like a break from
yeah,
like the heat, or
yeah.
like I need a break from the cold. Like I like it and I appreciate it, but then it's like,
Mhm.
okay, like once it's enough.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, we get some cold weather here starting at about November.
Mhm.
It'll be down in the 70s, and then by December it'll maybe hit like the 50s or 40s.
That's not too bad at
Yeah, it's not bad at
all.
all. But the rest of the year it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Like in October and early November, it'll still be in the 90s. I'm like, no, I'm done with the heat. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. We were when we were about to leave North Carolina and like trying to figure out where we were gonna live, because like
Hmm.
my husband was like military, he was getting out, and we were like, okay, where are we going? There was like an option to go to, like, I think it was like Yuma.
Oh,
Is that in Arizona? Yeah, and
Yuma's worse than Phoenix. Like it's hotter than Phoenix. Oh my
and I
goodness.
think that's what I looked up. I looked up the weather because I was looking
Yeah,
up different things. I was looking up like diversity. I was looking up like,
yeah.
just different things about the area.
Hmm.
And then it was just like it's like one of the hottest places in the United States. And I was like, no. I
Hmm.
was like,
Oh yeah.
cannot.
Yeah,
But
I think the only place hotter than Yuma is Death Valley, California. I think that's yeah, that
like it doesn't even sound fun. Like
nope. I know people that live there and I'm like, how do you do it? I live in Phoenix and I barely do this.
I know. I do want to go check it out though, but it's like, I don't know.
Well,
But
if you get down to Phoenix, you have to visit.
Mhm.
You have to come
I
for a
know.
visit. We'll hang out, have a brew, and
Yeah,
yeah, your husband
definitely.
sounds cool too.
Oh
So,
yeah, he's such a nerd.
well, hey, yeah, he'd be in good company.
Oh yeah. He's it's funny because he's got his own little like book club with two of his
Oh,
friends
nice.
that he like it's two of his army buddies that he was like stationed with and worked with and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I recommended to them to read. I, I forget what it was that it started with, Oh no, I remember now. It was the those Disney Twisted Tail books.
Oh yeah, I've
Um
heard of those.
okay, so I think I recommended to them to like, oh, like just check it out, right? And so then he knew that his two buddies like to read like fantasy and all that kind of stuff too. And so then they read it with him. They were like buddy reading together. And and then they were like texting each other and made like a little group chat on like WhatsApp. And it's been going, and I've been giving them random recommendations. I'm like, oh, like you should read like the Mistborn trilogy. And like I only read the first book of
Yeah.
that. They flew through the whole thing. Like they
Nice.
flew through that. Their favorite series is like the Dresden Files.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I love that series.
yeah, they read through all. They're rereading it over and over again. I've only read the first book. I think what else? Game of Thrones. Like they read through that. Like I was like, you got
nice.
your own little book club. Like
That's so cool.
yeah, it's funny. And then while we were reading the Dark Tower with all the people that I was reading it with,
Uh-huh.
he was reading it too. So he was reading it along with us. And so then he and I would talk at home about it. And then and then I'd go on the live stream and I'm like, why don't you just join me? He's like, I don't want to get on camera. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
here goes the Bruce trying to make his debut.
Oh, nice.
Bruce.
What breed? What breed? Is it?
He's I'm sorry, the barking.
That's okay.
He's like a mystery. We don't really know what he is. Cause hold on. Let me
Okay,
just get him this.
No problem.
Okay, he's right here. Okay, he is like, what is he? We think he's like a definitely retriever,
Uh-huh.
but I think he's mixed with like a spaniel, like a cocker spaniel or
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
But when we got him, he was originally supposed to be poodle schnauzer, right?
Mhm.
And then the lady that, this is like in Italy, like we got him in Italy. And the lady was like, oh yeah, poodle schnauzer. And I'm like talking to her through like Google Translate and stuff.
Mhm.
and she's like, oh yeah, like a small medium dog. 70 pounds later, let's talk. He's huge. I'm like, well, I'm not
Wow.
gonna give him back. This is my baby,
Right,
But
exactly.
yeah, he's like a poodle. No, not because he's got like curly hair. So, but I think it's like wavy. So that's why I'm like, maybe he's like a cocker spaniel mix with a
Yeah.
retriever. I don't know. I could do one of those DNA dog tests, but I'm having too much fun just being like, what do you think he is?
Right, exactly. Keep it a mystery. It's more intriguing that way.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. What do you think? Like, it always makes for good conversations at the dog park,
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Theo had a good question here. Can y'all record when other people are around? I need to be alone because I get embarrassed. Yeah, I don't record when other people are around. I mean, my kids are in the house, but I go in a separate room for my recording.
I've been trying to get over that, right? And so then, like, I'll tell my husband, I'm like, okay, sit in the room, but put your headphones on and don't look at me. And so he'll sit like, we have like this big bean bag, right, in the middle of our living room. And so he was sitting when I was doing the traveling book box video, the first half of the video, he was sitting on the bean bag, and I hadn't recorded in a while because I had like that little break or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm still like trying to get into the flow of things, and I'm like trying to get into my headspace, and he's there with his headphones listening, probably like Dresden or something, listening to his audiobook, got a towel that he threw over his face. And then even then I was like, you got to go to the other room. I can't. I can't focus.
Yeah.
I sent them away. Even now, my husband, he took my daughter. They're having like a daughter daddy day kind of thing. So he's out of the house while we're here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's so funny. I want to get over it. Like I see people like they have fun, like with people like people in the room will like interject and like I want that because my husband has a funny hot takes, but I
nice.
get to like in my head, you know.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably feel that too. Yeah. Yeah.
Here goes
My
again.
my kids wouldn't care to be in the same room when I'm filming anyway, unless like my daughter's participated in videos with me.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's kind of like, yeah, I just
Mm-hmm.
go in my room, close the door. Sometimes I'll keep the cat in there, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
but
nice.
yeah,
See, even with my dog, he's like, you know, he wants to make himself known. So
he
he's trying
does,
to,
right.
even him, I'm like, go to the room. That's
Yeah.
funny.
No, you're welcome, Theo. Traveling Book Box was cool to watch. Yes, it was. It
Oh, yeah, it
was a
was
lot of
so
fun to watch those
fun.
videos.
I really like that whole idea. Like Fine, she did that first round of it, and like I remember when that came out, and
Mhm.
I watched all of them, and I was like, oh my god, this is so fun. Like, and like I didn't really know a lot of booktubers back then, and I was like, oh, like I wish I could have like participated in that. Like that looks like so much
Right.
fun. And then now that like Fina had like invited me to this, and I was like, yes.
I know. Yeah. It was great. And I
Mhm.
wasn't even familiar with it when she invited me. Like I hadn't seen the first one.
Mhm.
And which I'm surprised at, because I follow several of the booktubers that were in the original.
Mhm.
But yeah, somehow I missed it, I guess. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was so cool. I think like one of the best parts, like obviously like getting the book box, but like everyone in the chat just like following along, like, where's the box? Who has the box? You know?
Right. Exactly. And the cool thing is too, maybe you have a book that you didn't necessarily like, but maybe the person who gets
Mhm.
the book will enjoy the book. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's always fun too.
Well, I mean, unlike not like me where I wanted everything in the box.
Yeah, you took like, I think it was 6 books, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
cool.
in the I was just laughing at myself because I was like in the chat, like how we were talking about who we thought was gonna take the most books. And I
Yeah.
was like, watch it be me without me intending it to be me. And it was me.
And it was you. Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't make up my mind. They all sounded like really interesting.
They did,
Yeah.
and I had kind of set myself a limit. I'm like, okay, I'm only going to take 2 or 3,
Mhm.
and I stuck to that. But there were some books in the box that I'm like, oh man, maybe I should have kept that one. But
Yeah,
oh
it's
well.
all right. You got
Yeah,
some good ones though. What was
yeah.
it that you had gotten? You had gotten the
I got the Stardust Thief,
yeah.
Justice of Kings, and the Green Rider. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. And so like the Stardust Thief I have because I
Uh-huh.
have like the Book of the Month edition too.
Oh,
So like
I forgot about that.
yeah, I already so I already had that one, but I think it was like the Justice of Kings. I was like, ah, he snagged it.
Yep. I'd heard a lot of good things, and the cover
Oh
is
yeah.
really nice. So
Yeah.
I thought, well, yeah, I'm gonna snag that one.
But then even then, like the one that you threw in, the Vagrant, I
Mhm.
was so caught up with that cover. I was like, I have so many questions.
Yeah, yeah, it's really interesting,
Mhm.
and I will read it eventually, but I have the ebook, and so I figured,
Mm,
well, somebody else
might
can
as well.
benefit from the physical book, and
Yeah.
it's an interesting premise, though. Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
I can't remember if it's a thief or an assassin, and he has a baby and a goat that he's traveling with. It's really
No. Oh,
it's
he's got a goat too?
yeah. There's a goat it's part of their trio, and yeah, it's different.
Like goats are funny though.
They
Like
are.
goats are hilarious. Like we had here goes backstory. Back in
Okay, I'm
like
ready.
back in high school, the high school that I went to, like a lot of schools in New York City, like they have like specialized programs that you can sort of like apply to, like instead
Hmm,
of just going to like your local school, like you can go to like different ones to go to like a program that they have, right?
nice.
And
Yeah.
so that's where I met my husband. Like we were friends in high school because
Oh,
we
that's
both
cool.
went, yeah, we both went to the same high school. and the program that we were both in was the agriculture program.
Okay.
And it was really cool because it was like the only school in Queens like that had a farm, like a full-on farm in the middle of New York City. Like it was weird. And
Wow.
so we had like goats, and we had like a couple goats, like alpacas, like a thing of chickens, and
Wow.
like there was like an exotic animal room. Like I just remember like being in class, like taking notes with like a snake wrapped around my arm, like it was like
Oh my
that. Like
goodness.
it was
That's
weird.
cool.
But
Very
with the
interactive.
yeah, it was really cool. And the as far as like the goats, like I always think, every time I think of goats, it always just reminds me of this. Like we would take them on walks like dogs.
Oh, that's awesome.
And goats are just so funny. So anything that
Yeah.
has like a goats is always like a trigger word, and like brings back happy memories, you know.
That's cool.
I know
That's cool.
we had a very weird high school experience.
Yeah, that's definitely different. And I wouldn't expect that in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that's so that's cool.
It was weird. It was like different.
Yeah.
But I think it was the only, I don't know about now, you know, it's been years, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely like a full functioning farm. Like we
Wow.
had to like spend one summer like actually like working on it. It was sort of like an internship or whatever. So like they
Yeah.
give you like a plot of land, and like you grew whatever you wanted, but you had
Wow.
to like really take care of it. And you were like graded on like how well you took care of like your little plot, you know.
Right.
It was cool. Like, I mean, like my husband, he was there too. Like we both did that summer together. We were like really good friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's sort of how we met.
That's
Through that.
awesome.
So yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. I like hearing stories of how people meet and got together. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
High school sweethearts.
Well, yeah, we were like friends, and then
Yeah.
like later on, after we were like out of high school, then we like re-met, you know,
Yeah.
and then kind of went from there. I think it was like we were 21, and then we were married by 23.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think next week is gonna be 10 years married.
Wow,
So
that's awesome. That is awesome.
yeah, so
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah.
It's been crazy, but
And you have how many kids?
just the one.
Just one? Okay. Yep.
Yeah, she's
Cool.
4,
Mm-hmm.
and she loves books too. So that's always
that's awesome.
Mhm. She's got a lot of books, and I'm working with her on I guess unhauling. Using
Yep.
booktube terminology, like
Yeah.
unhauling some of them, because she just has so much, and I'm like, but baby, it's for, you know, it's for other people, you know, you read it, you don't read it anymore, and we can give it to someone else. And she's just like, but it's just really hard to let it go. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay, my love, I know. It's hard for me too, so I understand.
Oh yeah, totally. I get it. Yeah.
See, and then like back to the traveling book box, like even just thinking about some of the books that I have, I was like, I know Fina read it. I know she read this. I can't give this to her. Or there was like another one where I was like, but I want to reread this one again. I can't give this one. It's so hard. So I don't pressure her too much, because I get it, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is hard to get rid of books. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about like unhauling and stuff?
I'm good about it. I don't I'm actually pretty good about unhauling my books. I don't do unhaul videos. I mean, I guess I could, you know, it's one of the popular
Yeah, I
things on
know.
BookTube, but I don't do the unhaul videos. Just when I'm ready to unhaul books, I go to the bookstore and, you know, maybe, you know, I get store credit and get some more maybe, but
Oh, nice.
like I recently finished the Deathgate Cycle by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, and is a really great series. It's one of my favorite series, but I don't I probably will reread it at some point, but I don't feel I have to own it physically, I can always get it on ebook when I'm ready to read it again.
Yeah.
So I unhauled the series so somebody else can enjoy it.
Yeah.
There's only like I won't unhaul Neil Gaiman. None of my Neil Gaiman books will be unhauled. Aaron Morgenstern, same way. Tolkien, I'm not unhauling any of my Tolkien books, but other than that, I'm pretty free with unhauling books.
Yeah.
Or donating them to somebody else.
Yeah.
So the book box was a great option for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the book box, look who's here.
Yeah. Hello, Fina. Welcome.
Hey, girl. Hey.
We'll watch the recording later. Okay. Sounds good.
It's all good. We're here.
Weekends, I know, get busy. She and I have been talking. We're going to try and get her on here soon. So.
Oh yeah, that'd be so great.
Yeah. It's been long overdue getting her on CHAS and Friends. So.
Fina's great. I really love
Fina is.
She's book box was definitely so much fun. I thought it was such a great idea. Like
it was. Yep.
It's such a great idea. And I feel like a lot of the comments that I got for that video were pretty much saying that, like, this is a really good idea. Like, why aren't people doing this more?
I got a lot of comments like that too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so great idea, Vinay. And I'm down for another one.
Yep, I'm here. It's a cool way to collaborate and also a cool way to get to know other booktubers too. Everybody that was in our group, I knew of, but some I knew better than others. Like I followed Jimmy pretty regular, and Alan and Fina and you, but some of the others, like Miss Richards Reads and stuff like that, I've followed. I've watched a few videos, but I don't know her as well as some of the others. So that was kind of cool to participate in this, and
especially with like everyone's different like styles. You know what I mean? Like how you were saying earlier, like I know with Stephanie with Miss Richards Reads, she'll read fantasy, but then she also does a lot of like cozy mysteries. And that's a genre that I don't really read too much. Like but I always think is intriguing, you know. It's like I don't ever discount it, but you know, it's just I just always wind up I just so happen to read like other stuff is more so the thing, you know. And I feel like if anything, my reading taste aligns a lot more with Ian, like Ian the Reader.
Yeah.
Because he reads a little bit of everything too. And Fina too. Fina reads a little bit of everything.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like to see like people with those kind of tastes collaborating with people who are more heavy on fantasy, like for like example, like Alan and Jimmy, you know, it always makes for good like blends of what you're gonna wind up getting out of it, you know.
It really does. Yeah. And it was cool that she went with the fantasy theme, like the magical edition. And so
and even then, like I think I threw in like a magic realism book and like you know, it's like because it's still like in that, but it's like different, you know. So it's, you know,
exactly. And Reincarnation Blues, which I think you picked that one up. It's not like technically fantasy. I mean, it is, but it's more the magical realism.
Which I really like. I really like magical realism. Like,
I do too.
Yeah, I feel like one of my early like, because I read a lot of books because of like school, right? And then and then I remember back when I was like 18, I worked at like this this Irish pub in Manhattan.
Okay. Nice.
And I was just like a hostess, but it was like I got the job because like my cousins, like a couple of my cousins and my uncle worked there.
Nice.
And one of my cousins, he was reading 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And I was like, you know, I was just curious. I was like, oh, like what you reading? Blah, blah. And he's just like, oh yeah, Cien Años de Soledad. And he was reading it in Spanish. And that's when I was like, I should pick up that book because it sounds really good. But, you know, in my head, I'm like, I have like this thing of like, the books that I buy should be library builders, right? Like classics and stuff like that. And it was like one of the first books that I got like for myself.
Yeah.
And you know, aside from like Harry Potter and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, and like I loved it. It was so like I need to reread it. I have it like right up there. But
Mhm.
I need to reread it. And just like that whole idea of like the magical realism, because a lot of it like emphasizes like cultural things or historical events, but using that magic to like emphasize or like bring more attention to those kind of things, or like exaggerating it. And
Mhm.
like I feel like I love that. I always love that, you know.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 I hope you like them. Like the Oscar Wilde book. Like that was another one that I read around that same time too. Because I think it was
Mhm.
released like in 2007.
Okay.
And that book, like I remember reading it, that one, and just really enjoying it. Like especially because like I'm Dominican, so it throws in a lot of like things that like Dominicans do. Like,
Mhm.
you know, and it's just always fun to like read those things, and like, or seeing other people like learning about it, and
Mhm.
like trying to like engage with that, with the culture and stuff. So that's, I always just love doing that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there were a lot of great books that changed hands over the course of the book
Mm-hmm.
box. So I'm excited to do it again sometime.
Mm-hmm. I'm totally down.
Yeah. 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 Now finding time to read them. Yeah. Where we already that's a good idea
That's a good
actually.
one. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Maybe have some reading sprints where we pick up one of those books
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
And then just like talk about like, oh, like this is what I thought of this, and then like you can all like, that'd be fun. I'm down. I'm down. I sign me up.
Exactly. Yeah. More fun things to do in the booktube community. It's
Yes.
awesome.
I really enjoy this community so much. Like
Oh, I do
for real.
too. It's so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she likes the idea of reading
There,
sprints.
there you
Nice.
go. I'm with it. Sign me up.
Yeah. Now you've been on booktube how long?
It's been like 2 years.
Okay, gotcha.
Like,
Yeah, I thought it had been over a year. I couldn't quite
mm-hmm.
remember. So
It's, I have been wanting to start like a booktube channel like for a long time,
yeah.
and maybe even like 3 years. I don't know, because I started it back when I was in North Carolina,
Okay. Yeah.
and a lot of those videos are like, don't watch them; they're bad.
Oh, it's time to hit the backlog.
I think like the first couple, like I like took off because I was just like, there's way too many jump cuts, like even in a sentence. Like I was so uncomfortable, but like I wanted to do it. And then my husband kept like, just do it. And I overthink things sometimes,
Hmm.
right? And then I put out like a couple videos, and then that was around the time that we were like moving.
Hmm.
And so then there goes the gap, right? And so then we like moved and trying to get settled, get to where we are now, and then getting all our stuff. So it was like a really big gap between the North Carolina videos and the ones from here in Oregon. And then again, I think I did like a few videos, and then I took another gap. And then now I feel like I'm a lot more steady like this past year.
Hmm.
So it's hard to like, I know you just put out like, oh, my 3 years on booktube. I'm like, I don't really know when my anniversary is, because I was always so like on and off about it. And it's not because I didn't want to, it was just because like we were moving around or whatever, like things
Makes sense.
happened, or like even like last week, like we had family visiting, and so it was hard to like find time to like do, I don't know. I always have all these little excuses, right? Or like I always feel like not jealous, but like I'm always just like, oh, like I wish I was a little more consistent, because then
Hmm.
you would see more growth. Like you see more growth when you're like more consistent. And like me
Right.
having been doing it for like a long time, I'm like like I should have more subscribers, but I always just take these breaks, and I'm like, it's all right. I don't stress it too much because, like I said, I just have fun with it. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been like 3 years maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
It's hard to
Hard to pin it down. Yeah. Yeah, well, and even mine, I know that my original video was like right in the middle of August somewhere, but I couldn't remember the date. And it's just easier to stick to my Tuesday and Friday, so that's why I
Yeah.
released it on Friday. But yeah, it's fun to keep track of. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, you gotta do what works best for you, and sometimes that means taking a break. So
Yeah. Even just like the moving, like I always feel like that because I had wanted to start the channel when we were in Italy, and then it was just like, we were moving and all this other stuff. It was like towards the end of our time in Italy, and like I had wanted to, yeah. Fina's like, wow, 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was just, I just take these breaks, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the moving is always, whenever we move, it always just throws me off. And like being like military, like we moved so much, like it was, it happens. But we're here now in Oregon for a while. Who knows if we'll move again? I don't. We're debating on if we should go back to the East Coast because all our family's in the East Coast, but it's up in the air. I don't know. We like our jobs, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, cool. And Oregon's awesome. It's one of my favorite places. A few years back, I think it might have been 2014, 2016, we vacationed in Oregon, and it was just amazing.
It's really pretty here.
It is.
It's really nice. Like I said, I feel like even the area where we live, like in Hillsborough, is really nice. I feel, could be a little more diverse, but it's all right. But like it's nice though. I like it. It's just our family's just far. Like to see family has to be like a big thing, instead of just like, oh, like I'm gonna go to my mom's for, to help her clean her house or something. You know what I mean? Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because it has to be like, I got to take vacation and we got to buy plane tickets. We got to like, make sure the dog has a sitter or the dog is coming with us. And like, it's like, it's got to be like a big thing. And I miss it not being a big deal to like, just like, but we like where we live. So there's that too. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's got its pros and cons. Do they also live in New York?
My family's a little all over the place. The ones that wound up coming were they were more so my husband's family, but like my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and like her kids and stuff, they live in New York. And then we had a couple of cousins, and they live in Pennsylvania, and so then they all like organized to come at the same time. So we had like 13 people over here.
Whoa.
It was 13 of them that came at once. They all didn't stay with us. Like some of them got like hotels and stuff, but it was a whole week of like Oregon traveling, trying to hike. Trying. Wow. It's the important word.
Yeah. I bet 13 people. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was fun though, but it was, it's like I need a vacation from my vacation.
Right. Exactly.
Because it was like a lot of kids. So it's like,
wow. Yeah.
Make sure the kids are entertained, because then there'll be, it's just like, we're going to the pool again, because the kids like the pool, it's all right. But didn't get much reading done, but I did manage to finish while they were here, the Song of Achilles. So that was pretty cool.
Okay.
We were on our way back from the beach, and it's like maybe like an hour and a half drive to the beach. So yeah, on the way back is when I finished it, and I'm like crying.
Right. That's a series I haven't read yet. Yeah, I haven't read any of those. That's what's the author's name?
Madeline Miller.
Madeline Miller, yeah. Yeah, she's got that one, and then she did one for Ercy too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And speaking of, yeah, I need you to tell me about the name of your channel. But yeah, I've been meaning to read some of Madeline Miller's stuff, and I just haven't yet.
No,
But
yeah, her work is gorgeous. Like it's beautiful. It's now that I've read Song of Achilles, I can say she's one of my favorite authors because of her writing style.
Wow.
And cool. How she's able to infuse, like, I don't know, like it's really beautiful, but it's also really entertaining. And the themes that she throws in there, like the really hard-hitting themes, like, you know, in the Song of Achilles, you have, like, you know, you're talking about love and obsession and war, and like the impact of, like, you know, fame, and like how that can like change people and stuff. And with Ercy, it's more of like women's issues that she kind of talks about also, where also like obsession and like motherhood and all that kind of stuff. But it's a really, even though she has those big themes, right? I know, right? It's a really entertaining story and gripping, and like they're just so good. They're really good.
Awesome.
But yeah, with the name of my channel.
Yes. I'm anxious to hear this story because I felt so bad for the longest time. I kept wanting to call you Ercy. And then somebody clued me into the fact that your name was Ercy. I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. So yes, do tell. And we just got joined by an Erudite Adventure. Hey there, nice to see you.
How are you?
So I love their channel too. I don't know if you watched it, but
I've seen a few of theirs.
They've got some great content too. So yes, Ercy's book. Tell me all about it.
So my real name is Ercy. Like it's not short for anything. It's not Ursula. It's not Urcelia. That's like on my birth certificate. It's Ercy.
Cool. And it's a great name.
No, thank you. So I was named after my great grandmother, Ercilia, like in Spanish, Ercilia, right? Okay, and so my dad just kind of cut it in half. But with my name being what it is, a lot of people my entire life have always mispronounced my name, or they made fun of, oh my goodness, who is that?
That's my cat Ari. She decided to join us for a spell.
Such a cutie. Oh my goodness. My daughter's been begging for a cat.
Oh, well, we love ours. Oh, she's getting down. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, no, it's all good. And they just my name has always been mispronounced my entire life, or made fun of, right? So even like growing like you know, they'd say Erky, or you know, or Erky Turkey, or Ercy or whatever. Like always my entire life. And I'm just like, whatever, like it's whatever.
Yeah.
Or even like at Starbucks, like I use my middle name at Starbucks. Okay. Like, I don't even attempt it anymore. I'm just like, you know, Stephanie, like, you know, and or I'll make up names, because I'm like, even if I give them my name and I'll spell it, I'll be like Ercy. They still write it wrong.
Oh no.
But I'm just like, whatever, like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It's been over 30 years of this.
Yeah.
But my father-in-law, and he's another one. He's a huge, like, he loves Star Wars and comic books and Marvel. Like, he's super, like, really into like the entertainment side of things, right?
Yeah.
And when I first met him, he was like, Ercy, sounds like Cersei. And he's and then he would be like, Ercy, no, I like Cersei better. And I was like, I kind of like Cersei too. And then he'd go on, she's in Marvel, she's like either Marvel or DC. I think it's DC. Or he's like, she's a sorceress. She's a and he just go on and on about it. And wow. I always just say it's like my favorite mispronunciation of my name.
Yeah.
And so when I was coming up with a name for my channel, I was like, I need something that people aren't gonna be because if I use Ercy, people are gonna mispronounce it all the time. So I was like, Cersei is a good one. So I'm just gonna use Cersei. But now I feel like I confuse people because they're like, oh, her name's Cersei. And then they're like, wait, no, her name is actually Ercy. I cause more trouble for myself.
No
But
worries.
it's yeah, that's all it is. This is my favorite mispronunciation.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's a good name. It's a good
Thank
name
you.
for the channel. Yeah,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
I don't mind if people are like, oh, Cersei, because it's like I put it as the name of my channel, so it's just like
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah.
Like I don't get upset about it, it's
Hmm.
like if people mispronounce even like my own name, I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah,
Because like I already it's over, like I said, it's over 30 years of not pronouncing it right. But then people that actually do, I'm like, you said it right. Like, or they'll be like, Ercy, did I say it right? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, that's a new one. I've never heard. I'm like, I know.
yeah. It's cool and unique. It's a good name. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
And then
Yeah,
for yours, it's pretty simple. It's just bookish CHAS.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and it's my first name. Yeah, Charles, my first name. And there's only a few times I've had mine actually mispronounced. Like sometimes people will say Carl or
Really?
something. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, Carl is a variation of my name,
Yeah.
so yeah, it works, whatever. But
Yeah. So long as it works, it's all right.
yeah, and I've had some people call me Carlos. I'm like, okay, well, that would be my name in Spanish, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Except like when I took some Spanish in high school, and my teacher's name was Carl, so we always called him Don Carlos.
Oh,
and
nice.
he wouldn't let anybody else have the name Carlos in the class, so we all took up monikers for the class. So I ended up with the moniker Bernardo. I'm like, okay, I'm not a Bernardo, but whatever, it works.
That's funny.
Yeah, it
Actually,
was fun.
I actually knew a guy. It was one of my husband's military friends. Well, he was my friend too. His name was also Carlos, but then like on his Facebook he put Don Carlos, but he was like younger than us because like Don is like for like older respectful
Right.
people,
Uh-huh.
and so he always had Don Carlos. And so then we would whenever we're like out drinking or whatever, we'd be like Don Carlos. Like he did it to himself.
That's great. I love it.
We were such fools.
That tends to happen when we're younger, right?
I know. Even now, I don't know. When we're a
Hey,
little.
growing up is overrated, right?
I know. I always think about that, like with somebody said something to me like recently, and I think it was like at work, and I said something about like, oh yeah, like because like I live near my job, right?
Uh-huh.
And I said, oh, like sometimes when if it's nice out, like I'll just ride my bike to work because it's right there.
Yeah.
And they're like, you ride your bike? Why don't you drive your car? I'm like, because it's right there. I'm just riding my bike. I'm on my bike, maybe like 5-10 minutes tops. And they're like, oh, I'm too old to be riding my bike. I'm like, I'm in my 30s.
Right.
Like it shouldn't be that big a deal. And they were like, oh, like just some things that you do when you're like when you, as you get older, they're like, oh, you like lose touch with like being youthful. And I'm like, and then I said, oh, sometimes my husband skateboards to work. And they're like, he skateboards to work. I'm like, yo, we're not that old.
Right. Yeah, it's like,
we
what
can
are you
skateboard.
thinking? Right?
Come on. Or then like when we watch like the movies that we watch, and they're like, or people, well, that's a kids movie, or that's for younger people. I'm like, well, I guess I'm young at heart then. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, never too old for stuff like that. And I mean,
Mhm.
there's older people I see out riding bikes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
But then even so, like I know I've been watching a lot more like younger stuff because of my daughter. But they're
mhm,
like so good.
mhm.
Yesterday we watched the Buzz Lightyear movie.
Oh, how was it? I haven't seen it
And it
yet.
was really good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good. It's really good. It's funny. It's really
yeah,
good.
that's cool.
I
Yeah,
liked it. There's a
I was curious to watch that one.
mhm. I
Yeah.
think like they have it like in theaters and streaming on Disney Plus. So we watched it on Disney Plus.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have Disney Plus. I just haven't
It's good.
the last thing we watched on Disney Plus was Moon Knight. We haven't watched anything since then.
Oh, I
So
need to watch
oh
Moon
no,
Knight. I haven't
actually
watched it.
Moon Knight is really good. It's not the best of the Marvel series on Disney Plus, but it's
Mm.
good. But I was wrong. The last one we watched was the Obi-Wan series, and that was really good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I loved Obi-Wan. I'm
I
a
think
huge
we did
Star Wars
like
nerd.
I oh wait, no, this one. There we go. I got the wait, there we go. There
Oh,
we go.
nice. Very cool.
I was like, what are like why how do I not know where my tattoos are? It's ridiculous.
Right.
Oh, we have Joanna here. I was gonna say
Yeah.
Johanna.
JR's here. Joanna's here. Hi,
Joanna.
guys.
Hey guys. Oh,
Ercy has the
thank
best smile and
you.
laugh. Yes, indeed. Best smile on BookTube. I
Oh, you guys
agree.
are so sweet. Thank you.
Moon Knight was amazing, right up there with Loki. Okay, cool. I
Nice.
liked Loki better, but Moon Knight Moon Knight got better toward the end for me, but it was kind of like a slow burn. I was like,
Mm,
and honestly, I'm not too familiar with the Moon Knight character like I am
me
some of
neither.
the others. So
Mhm.
I never read any of the Moon Knight comics or anything, so it was new for
Yeah.
me. But I enjoyed it. Oscar Isaac is brilliant.
Oh, he's such a great
He's
actor.
so versatile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
But yeah, I haven't watched Moon Knight. There's so many things I haven't seen.
there are. We haven't even. We didn't even go to see Thor in the theater. We totally missed the new
No,
Thor movie,
we
and
didn't see that either. Well, we were going to go see that one, but then like I had planned like a date night or whatever with my husband, and we were gonna go see Thor. And then he was like, well, we can't watch Thor because we haven't seen the other Stranger, the Doctor Strange movie, the
right.
new one for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't seen that one. I know it's on Disney Plus, and we just haven't made time to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll see it this weekend. I don't know, but yeah, we haven't seen that one. So he was like, well, we can't watch Thor because then if they say something in there that it's gonna spoil the other one.
Right. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't had Doctor Strange spoiled. It's been out for so long, but
I know. I do good with trying to avoid spoilers.
That's good.
Like
Well, I'll
like
keep my lips sealed.
yeah. Even like the Stranger Things season 4.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, and I've been like anytime like on TikTok, like anything Stranger, I'm like, don't spoil it.
Yeah, don't move along.
I know. I do good with like avoiding it.
That's
But with,
awesome.
yeah.
It's really hard to do. And Stranger Things season 4 was magnificent.
I heard it's so good.
Yeah.
But I just because it was such a long gap with the other seasons, I was like, well, I need to rewatch the other seasons.
Right.
So right now we're almost done with season 1. I think we have like this one episode left. But then even then, like it's been years since we saw it because it was like we saw it as it was coming out, right?
Okay, yeah.
So that was like years ago. So now we're like rewatching it. I'm like, oh, I forgot this person went here. Oh, I forgot this. Like you forget all these things, and I'm like, that's why I like to rewatch it first.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like, yeah, the Stranger Things, I need to finish that so that way I can watch season 4. I need to. There's so much TV I have to watch, and I'm like,
oh, I know.
So behind.
I'm with you. Like I haven't even watched season 6 of The Expanse yet. I'm behind on that. I still had I finally started watching Buffy and Angel,
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm only in the middle of season 4 for Buffy,
Mhm.
and I haven't gotten back to it, but I've got other priorities. One of
Mhm.
which I have to ask you about. Okay, Ercy, how excited are you for House of the Dragon?
Oh, I want to see it so bad. Oh,
Me
I.
too.
When does it come out? It comes out this month, right?
Yeah, the 21st. It comes out, so not this. Yeah, no, wait.
See,
Yeah,
here's the other one.
that would be this weekend, right? Oh yeah. Oh,
I
you
think.
got. Oh, I love it. That is awesome. That
I
is awesome.
I really really want to. I feel bad because I still haven't read Fire and Blood. I haven't read
Yeah,
it yet, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm just gonna watch it anyways because I
yeah.
feel it, because that's sort of what I did with Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I started reading Game of Thrones around the time that like the second season of the show came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, well, I'm gonna read the book first, right?
Right.
And so, it's like he throws like a lot of characters, right? And I
Yeah.
was just like so confused. I was like, I can't, like I couldn't get into it because I was just like so confused. And so then I watched like 2 episodes of the first season, and I was like, okay, I got faces for all these characters, and then I read the book and I flew through it, and it was so
Oh,
good.
that
And
makes all
yeah.
the difference, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I started reading the books before I watched the show. I think I got through book 4 before I finally started watching the show, and the show was
Mm.
already a couple seasons in at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But and I love the books. I am in the middle of Fire and Blood, but I don't think I'm going to finish it by the time the show comes out.
Oh,
So,
okay. What is it
but
like?
that's okay.
Not interested, or is it
Oh
just
no,
like?
I'm very interested. I just
Mm-hmm.
got so many other books that I'm trying to. I go back and forth between 3 or 4 different books at a time, and
Good for you. I can't. I try
yeah,
that, and like I get scrambled.
yeah. Like I just I started the month reading Pyramids by Terry Pratchett, and then I
Mhm.
set it down because I wanted to start Dark Matter, and I read Dark Matter in like
Mm.
2.5 days.
Oh, the
Uh,
the Blake Crouch, right?
Yeah, so good. And then I'm still working through Fire and Blood, of course. I was thinking because it's a history book, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those books where I could technically skip to the section that the show takes place in
Mm-hmm.
and read that section if I wanted to, and then go back to some of the other
Yeah.
sections. But it's a really good book. If I'm not really big into like history books, but the way George writes it, it's just
Mhm.
masterfully done.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, that's
really
so good.
engaging. So at
Yeah.
least to me it is. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm very excited just to see me
I
more
know.
dragons. I'm like,
Oh my gosh, the dragons. I feel like the way they animated them in
yes,
the Game of Thrones show, like the first one, like
yes,
it was just so good. Like
mm-hmm,
even at the end, I know people like the final season, all the controversy, right?
mm-hmm,
I grew so attached to those dragons. And so
mm-hmm.
then when those things happened to those dragons that happened to them, I was such a mess.
Oh, I know. So
I
was
was,
I.
oh my, like cry, like
Mm-hmm.
a mess. And
And I don't know about you in that final couple of episodes, and just warning everybody that this is spoilers. I
it's been a few
I
years. You guys should have
yeah,
seen it already.
but in that final couple of episodes,
Mhm.
after he kills her, and Drogon comes to carry her away, and he kind of stares John down and then flies off. I'm like,
Oh
that
my
was
god.
epic.
I was like,
That
same
was
thing.
oh.
A mess. I was
Mm-hmm.
a mess when he like took her and like left with her. I
Yeah.
was like, you could not talk to me because I was just like, no.
Yeah, there were so many moments like that for me in that series,
Yeah.
and
I
I've
think
been
just
really
like,
excited for this.
yeah, just like that, those epic stare downs of like whenever it's like the stare down between like a beast and like man, and like there's like that level of like understanding but fear. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I love that.
Oh, me
It's
too.
so good. those.
Yeah.
Did you see? It's on Netflix. It's called The Sea Beast. Did you see that
No, I
movie?
haven't seen that one.
Okay, so it's an animated movie. See, I'm watching all these animated things with my kid, right?
Yeah.
But it's really good. I feel like anyone can like watch it.
Okay.
And so with Sea Beast, it's about these monster or sea beast hunters, right? There's like these maybe like sea dragons or like sea snakes or whatever that are attacking boats and ships. And there's like a crew sent out from the kingdom to go like over time, like historically, to like go kill the sea beasts.
Right.
And so then it's about like this one group of people, or these two people that have this encounter with like a sea beast that has been targeted to be killed, right? But there's like this scene, and it's a stare down scene, and it is like, just that scene alone, it's so impactful. Like, it's because it's so scary. But and you're just like, oh my like, I feel like I don't want to spoil it, but because I feel like that scene like just makes the movie.
Right.
And like, you just gotta watch it.
Okay.
That's your homework assignment.
Yeah, right. I'll put it on my list with all the other shows.
Yeah. It never ends.
Yeah. Those stare downs are really something else. I love it. Though. Like one of my favorite scenes in Game of Thrones was in the battle arena when Drogon came to rescue Daenerys. You know, and what's his name? The older guy was trying to fend off all the guys that were trying to attack her and stuff like that. And gosh, that was just so many epic scenes, and I love that series. So no matter even though there were things I didn't like about the way it ended and things like that, I still would watch it over and over again.
Same.
It's one of my favorite series.
So, hot take. I actually kind of liked how it ended.
I did too, actually. The very end, like I was meaning like some of the things in the final season, like but yeah, the way it ended at the very end and stuff, I'm like, okay, I like it too.
Because like, how would you be able to wrap up something so epic? And I feel like no matter what, there's always going to be people that like don't like how things are done. And I can understand too with like the care that they did with that final, you know, like with the coffee cup and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, that was funny. It's like, whoops.
I know, like I always just laugh. I'm just like, whatever. But because it was still really good. And like when it comes to like Daenerys and like how her character like flipped, I like that because it was like a sort of like a tragedy, you know what I mean? And it was just like how her whole life, right? She's just been fed like these fairy tales of what she should expect when she comes to Westeros, right? All the people they're begging, they're praying for you and all this other for you to come back. And then she gets there and they're like, but who are you? Like, you know, and that's more like realistic of what you can expect for something of that nature, right? She's been gone for so like, who are you? Like, and you're coming here to be like the queen, like, who are you? You know, and so then just like that realization of how things really are, like how it like turned her insane and she just like rampages. I was goosebumps. Even now I'm like, oh,
I know,
thinking about it, you know. And I was just like, that flip of hers, I was like, I love that. It was like the tragedy of her character. Like I'm all for books like not having happy endings.
Oh yeah,
and like
same here.
And like the way that she like flipped, I thought it was really great.
I did too. I did like that part of it. And I really wanted her to be queen, but I'll tell you what, I think it's very poetic that
Mhm.
that Bran Stark
Mhm.
is now the king. I think that's very
Mhm.
poetic. It kind of brings everything full circle.
Yeah.
And I have a sneaking suspicion, George hasn't said one way or the other, but he did tell the showrunners his ending, and I have a feeling that is how he's going to end the actual books
It's
too.
got to be something like that, because like
Yeah,
how else would you like wrap up this? I don't know, unless he's got like other tricks up his sleeve. But if
right.
you gotta have like that sort of switch from like monarchy to sort of like democracy kind of thing. So I can
Hmm.
see that being like a a thing that happens, and like with Brandon or Bran not really wanting that, like I think they said in the show like he doesn't want it, so like who else would be perfect for it besides someone who doesn't want it, because
Right.
then you would actually like do your job.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like it makes sense,
Yeah.
but I think it's gonna come out like a little different. But
Yeah, I'm sure it
from how the
will.
show, obviously like things like they change things around to like make it fit for like
Yeah.
TV and stuff. And whereas like in a book you can kind of just go on forever, but it's just a
Yeah.
matter of when he's gonna release those books. It's been so long.
It has been, yeah. And I think that I think that one major change we're gonna see is with the others, with the White Walkers.
Mhm.
I think they're going to be much more of a menace than they ended up being in the show. So
Mhm.
and I'm looking forward to that because that's yeah.
And the people beyond the wall too. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they should definitely have more of I don't know, because there was like a lot that came about. What was it? Was it in book 3? When John finally goes beyond the wall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh. I believe it was.
and so then yeah, because then in book 5 it's Monday. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like trying to remember. I have to reread all those books.
Yeah, I'll
But
have to too when the next book gets announced. I'm gonna be like, okay, it's time for a reread. Got to catch up.
But I think there's gonna be like a big group doing it in come January. They're doing
Mm.
I think Joanna's part of it.
Hmm.
I think she was saying that she was gonna do Theo from Rekindled Reader, and
Okay.
a bunch of people. They're doing like a read through of the series, because I think
Okay.
like Theo hasn't read it,
Okay.
but like a bunch of people obviously have read it. So it's like reread
Yeah.
time. Like it's gonna be Game of Thrones 2023.
Nice. I might participate. We'll see.
Yeah.
I kind of want to wait until closer, like when book 6
Mhm.
actually gets officially announced, but I might still reread it anyway.
I
So
really, yeah, I really hope he's just like, bam, here it is.
yeah.
I got, you know.
I'm kind of a glass half full kind of guy with a lot of this stuff. Like
Hmm.
a lot of the naysayers for like seasons 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones, I'm like, I liked them.
Yeah,
I didn't think they were horrible. And
yeah.
there's a lot of people that are nitpicking the new Sandman series. I'm like,
Oh,
I
really?
I liked it. I
Hmm.
I was all over it. I think they did a smashing job. Of course, I read the graphic novels already.
Okay.
So I know
Mhm.
what's happening, and the show did a marvelous job, I
Yeah,
think. And I'm the same way with George. I have
yeah,
faith that he's going to give us book
yeah.
6. So
I like to think positive about it.
yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
trash him.
maybe book 7 is more of a long shot. I just don't know, but
Hmm.
at least I think he'll give us book 6.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
So
definitely.
and Pat Rothfuss the same way. I don't know
Mhm.
if you read the King Killer Chronicles or not,
No, I
but
haven't.
it's
Isn't it
really
only like
good.
2 books are out, right? Is that what it
Well,
is?
two and a half. Yeah. So
Okay.
there's 2 books, and then there's a short novella that follows one of the characters from the books.
Okay.
And it's actually my favorite book in the series. The novella
Oh,
is. It's
oh,
great.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna check
Yeah.
that. I feel like that one, that series, and like Robin Hobb books are some that I'm like, I need to just get to that. Like I don't know what I'm
Right.
waiting for. I'm just like,
Oh
what?
man.
No, I
Yeah.
tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. it's finishing up the Dark Tower series.
I know.
That like just took up so much energy and time.
It
That
does. I get
yeah.
it. It did for me too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like even like right now, I'm sort of, even though like I started Dresden, like the current audiobook that I'm listening to is Fool's Moon from
Okay,
the
yeah.
Dresden Files.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like reading a series, I'm like, I need to read some standalones.
Mm-hmm.
At least for a little bit, just to like give myself a break. Because even like the Malazan, like they were doing the read along for that one, and like after
Right.
book 2, I was like, I need a break.
Yeah. I got halfway through book 3 and I'm like, I can't do this right now. I
Yeah.
want to do it. I want to get back in and finish it. It just I
Mhm.
wasn't in the right headspace for it.
Yeah, they're
That
such big books too.
they are. Yeah, they're
Mhm.
definitely chunkers, but
Yeah.
I definitely hear where you're coming from with that. It's hard after you just you kind of got that long series hangover, and and,
Yes.
and 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 so now you need something that's
100%.
shorter, and yep.
Yeah, that's why I read The Song of Achilles. Since
Hmm.
then, I've read a novella. What is it called? I have it right here actually. Hold on. Hold on. I got so many books right here. Ring Shout
Oh, I've heard
by
of that one. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's good. This is a good one. So yeah, I read that one too, and like, like Heartstopper. This is just me just grabbing
Oh
books that I
yeah.
have right here.
My daughter
But
loves the Heartstopper
oh, they're
books.
so good. And the
Yeah.
TV show they did a good job with the TV show too.
Okay. I haven't watched that one yet.
It's really it's just like wholesome and like cute, but also like the show did a really good job with adding a little extra drama that
Hmm.
I feel the books lack.
Okay.
There's still like some drama in the books, but I feel like the show did a really good job of like, here it is, like get
Right.
hooked, So it was good, but I need to watch Sandman too. I want to watch. I read. I got like halfway through the audiobook of
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I think it was like a free thing with like uh what is it with Audible.
With Audible, yeah.
And then, so I caught it like when it was almost ending. So I got like halfway through, and then it disappeared. I was like, "Where's
Oh,
the audio?"
right.
It was so good. It was so good. Like it was dark and like twisted
Yes.
and crazy.
Hmm.
So I'm like prepped to like watch the show. Like I want to
Hmm.
finish the audiobook because it was intense,
Hmm.
but I'm also like, should I just read the books too, like the comics? But
Oh yeah, I would definitely recommend the
Mhm.
comics. Like I've told people that like if you're not really into comics, the audiobook is a good way to go because
Mhm.
it's exactly the same story as the
Okay.
the graphic novels, just in audio form, and
Mhm.
they've added in like descriptions of scenes that you won't get if you don't read the graphic novels. So they've
Mhm.
added in descriptions and stuff and
Yeah.
did a really good job. I've listened to both volumes so far, and
Oh, nice.
but yeah, I have all of the original Sandman arc in the graphic novels, and
Oh,
they're
nice.
just amazing. And the art, like if you like artwork,
Mhm.
it's gorgeous. The artwork is just
Yeah.
amazing. So
My library has, and like I've seen it, like they
mhm,
have the annotated volumes of it, and they're like
mhm.
huge. They're like huge books. And
Oh
so I
wow.
think it's like 4 volumes that they have now. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna check them out.
Yeah, definitely do. They're well worth it.
Mhm. I'm like, I'm on my little book buying ban now. Too many books.
Yeah, I hear you. It's hard because you want to buy books, but then you end up buying too many, and yeah,
Mhm.
especially after the book box, right? You're like, okay, now it's
I
time for a book ban.
know. I gotta chill out. Just read what I have. Because you know what it is? That's the thing. It's like I have a lot of books, but a lot of them I haven't read yet because I keep getting distracted by all the newer books. Like I buy too much at like once, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like and then something new will come, and I'm like, oh, but I'm gonna read this first real quick, you know. Like
Yeah.
even now I have my current like physical read is Upgrade by Blake
Oh
Crouch.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I'm only like 2 chapters in, like I'm really early into it, but it's like that's like one of my newer, aside from the books from the book box, like that was like my latest book. But then
Yeah.
even before that, I'm like, yo, I still haven't read all this book. I haven't read this one, I haven't read too many unread books in my collection. I'm like, okay, I need to chill out because it's too much.
Yeah, I've got a lot of unread books in my collection too, but I keep buying ebooks,
I
and I'm like,
know.
I just got to stop. I've got to
Yeah.
read the stuff I have, but and I keep wanting to read more Robin Hobb because I read Assassin's Apprentice, and I'm supposed to start Royal Assassin this month. That's my that's one of the books I have on the ticket for this month, and I'm loving those. So
yeah, I need I want to get to
is
it.
Great
because I heard it's like her writing style too. It's like it's supposed to be really character, like focus more on the character, and like I like that. Like
it is, yeah. And the Farseer trilogy is a first-person narrative, so Fitz is telling us everything from his perspective, and it's really, really good.
Okay, so do you think it's more like but it's more like emotional, or is it more like plot? Because I think of like the Dresden Files, right? And that's like him telling the story, but that one's more like plot, right?
Yeah, it's more plot driven, and Farseer is more emotional for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
more emotional, more character driven. You will need tissues.
I cry.
I had several moments where I'm like, okay, where's my tissues? I need my box right now. There were some crushing moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna emotionally prepare myself.
And I like Dresden too. I mean, I'm on book 9 right now, and it's really, really good. I'm solidly invested.
Yeah.
Or actually, I should say I haven't started book 9 yet, but I'm going to this month. And but yeah, it's very different in terms of what it focuses on. It's much more plot driven, and Farseer's much more emotional and character driven. And
I know I'm gonna be crying.
Yeah. Be prepared. Yeah, there's some
Song of Achilles
moments.
Kind of got me, but it wasn't until after I finished the book, like with Song of Achilles, that like I thought about it. Like I finished it and like I sat with it, and then I think this is what triggered it. We were driving home, and a Taylor Swift song came on the playlist, and it was the Lover song from Taylor Swift, and then I was just thinking about it. I just started crying, and the husband's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "The book." It's the book.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this book was just like emotional. But anytime that I know is going to be something that's like emotional, I've been getting better at it with the books. Like I can definitely like throw like soppy, like heart-wrenching books at me. It's just like I know it's going to happen. So I'm like, okay, I'm like prepared. But with like movies, it takes me forever because I cry I cry in a Buzz Lightyear movie. Like what's I try not to, and I'm just like, why am I crying?
I get it. Yeah, I have way too many moments in movies where like, I'll just be broken down on the side of the sofa, and my kids are like, "Dad, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay."
I'm okay.
Yeah.
There's always those kids movies too.
Yeah, right.
What was it? What was the one that they did like a couple years ago, and it was like a fantasy one, with the brothers. They were like elves. Onward.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one yet. Okay.
Watch.
I have to watch.
I feel like you'll really like that one.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I feel like you'll really like that one because the whole premise is like, what if, like, technology and like technology came to like the magical world, right? And so like
Mm-hmm.
magic kind of fizzled out because people were, well, like elves and gnomes and all those things are like they're using like electricity. Like they don't need to practice making a spell
Yeah.
to make fire when they can just turn on the light, right? And so
Right.
like magic kind of like fizzled out, but there's still like unicorns and elves and
Yeah.
gnomes and all that,
That's
centaurs. And
interesting.
I feel like you'll really like, and they're on a quest.
Uh-huh.
Like I feel like you'll really like that movie. And then the end. Oh,
Oh, the end really got you, huh? All right.
I can't watch it anymore because
Oh no.
it's one of those. Every time we watch it, I'm like, like I know what's gonna happen. It still
Right.
gets me. I'm such a bad that and like Up,
Oh,
the
Up.
beginning sequence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Up crushes me every time I see
Hmm.
it. Yeah. Yeah,
It's
that
it's like that.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll really have to prepare myself
It
then
might be
because
me.
yeah.
I might just be like a mush, but
No, oh, I'm a mush, believe me. Yeah, so if
yes.
if it's gonna be like Up, yeah, then
Yeah,
yeah,
your homework
Up
assignment
is
now too is to watch Onward because I really
Onward,
feel like you'll
okay.
like it. I feel like
Onward, and then what was the other one you told me about that I have to watch on
oh
Netflix?
no, what was The
Um
Sea Beast. The
yeah,
Sea
the Sea
Beast.
Beast. Yeah, okay, got Sea
Hmm.
Beast and Onward. Okay,
Yeah,
all
I feel
right.
like
I'll
both of
have
those
to
you'll really like. Even
uh
yeah, I think like my daughter just put on Sea Beast.
uh-huh.
Like, my husband and I were like doing stuff around the house, and both of us were just like like just watching it and like in the
That's cool.
background, and then like we like stopped what we were doing to like watch it because it was like that. Like it was good.
Nice.
Hmm.
Okay, that's cool. I'll have
Yeah,
to check those out.
I feel like you'll really like those two shows because it's like fantasy.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and I like a lot of fantasy shows. There's just so many. My daughter and I have been watching Lock and Key
Oh, my
and
husband's been watching that one. I haven't
yeah,
watched that one.
it's really really good.
That's the
Although I
one
haven't
with
read the
the vampire. Is it with the vampires?
no,
That's in the house.
it's an old magical house and they keep finding these keys all over the house and
Mhm.
they unlock different doors, and I mean,
Okay.
it does have some horror type elements, but
Oh no, I'm
yeah.
thinking of Barry. I think it's Barry or something.
Huh. Okay.
That one is like vampires and stuff, but it's
Okay.
like comedy horror kind of
Oh,
thing.
okay. Okay, interesting. I don't think I've heard of that one. I watch What We Do in the Shadows,
Oh, I
but
think that one's sort of like that too,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's a yeah, vampire mockumentary. It's a lot
Mhm.
of fun, but yeah, so many shows to watch. Lock and Key is really good. I
Mhm.
haven't read the graphic novels though, and I've heard
Yeah, I
it's
haven't
much
either.
different than the graphic novels.
Oh
I own
yeah.
them, I just haven't read them yet.
Story of our lives.
Right? So many, yeah, so many books and
Or even
um
like the boys.
mhm,
Um
I still haven't watched season 2 and now season 3 is out.
oh my god. I only watched like I think like 2 or 3 episodes of the first season. And like I
Yeah.
was really into it because I was like, oh, this is intense.
Yeah, the end was really, really good.
I really like the idea of that. Like
Mhm.
these crazy super like what would happen,
Right.
But and that's why I like My Hero Academia so much too. That one we actually did finish all the episodes. Um
Okay.
but the mangas, it's just
Mhm.
ongoing. Like I only have like 5 of them, like the first 5 volumes, and like
Okay.
I'll keep going, but I'm not like in a rush to like get them because
Yeah.
like I've seen the show, and the
Mhm.
show's so good, and
Oh,
like
the show is. Yeah.
how much how
I've
much of
heard
that have you watched, or have you watched
um
any of it?
only a couple of episodes, but
Mhm,
I like it. Yeah.
mhm.
Absolutely.
It's one of those
Um
shows, like, well, even like my daughter, like, she's 4, so we try to push back like the real
right.
forward over like the really intensive, like dark parts. But
Uh-huh.
she loves it. Like she's like, my hero, please.
Oh, wow, that's cute.
Yeah, she loves it. It's like one of those shows that we can all watch,
Yeah.
even if we're rewatching it, like we'll watch it and stuff.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Have you seen The Dragon Prince?
N- no, I haven't.
It's really
What
good
is
as
it?
well. It's on Netflix. Yeah, they've got
Mhm.
3 seasons, and season 4 just got announced. It's the same. It's the same creators that did Avatar, actually, the Last Airbender. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
And see, yeah, that's another one of those shows that we all watch
Oh
together
yeah, but
too.
yeah, we do too. I think we rewatched it like twice already. We've seen
Same.
it 3 times. Yeah, I
Mhm.
love the
Oh, it's
Last Airbender,
so
and
good.
yeah, it is. And the Dragon Prince is really good.
Okay, so we're gonna watch that one too,
Yeah.
because now we're in that part of like we're trying to find like a new show that we can all watch together. So now we're just
Hmm.
stuck on rewatching.
Hmm.
No, not Avatar. My Hero,
Hmm.
because we don't know what to watch like all together. Is it
Hmm.
animated?
Yeah, the Dragon
Oh, okay.
Prince. Yeah, it's animated.
All right,
Hmm.
so we'll check that one out because yeah,
Yeah,
we've been looking for a new one because we rewatched Avatar because of that. Like it was
yeah.
one of those like we finished watching something and then we were like looking for something we can all put on and then so then we rewatched Avatar and then now we're in the middle of My Hero again, but like we can
Hmm.
stop it because I feel like we just finished watching all the shows and so we
Yeah,
just go back because we don't know what to put on. We're just like, whatever.
I get that. Like
Mhm.
a good animated series for you and your husband for
Mhm.
after your daughter's in bed
She goes to
is
bed.
yeah, is Invincible.
I saw the first episode of that.
Yes. Oh
It's
man,
crazy. Oh
watch the
my god.
rest. It gets crazier. It is so good.
That scene in the end of the first episode,
I know. The just
I,
an all out slaughter. I
I
just
was like, what happened?
yeah.
like it's still like in my head. He's like twisting and crushing. Oh,
Yeah, it was bad, right?
it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
That was crazy. I
and
think
it
my
gets
husband finished
crazier.
it.
Okay.
I think because he's better at like finishing. You know what it is? My husband and I were talking about this yesterday because he makes fun of me all the time about how I watch shows. Because when I watch shows that I actually really want to watch and pay attention to, I'm like, I need to sit there and watch it like the whole way through.
Mhm.
He can like be at work, watch like 10 minutes, stop, and then like go do something like do more work or like do whatever he's doing, go back
Mhm.
to like right where he picked up and like just like sporadic like that. I
Right.
can't watch shows or movies like that because I get like I need to sit there and like watch it.
Mhm.
I can do that with like those dumb reality shows or
Mhm.
like Law and Order, like
Yeah.
SVU. Like I can do that with those kind of or like true crime kind of shows.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
but I can't do that with like anything like Marvel or um any of these kind of shows that we've been talking about because I'm like
Mhm.
I don't want to forget things. And like
Right.
with reality shows, I'm like, I don't care if I, like,
Right.
I don't care if I. What's the one that I'm watching? Indian matchmaking or something.
Oh, okay,
And it's like,
interesting.
it's actually really good. It's like funny, but it's like a matchmaker. You know how they have like arranged marriages in like
Mhm.
India and stuff. And
Right.
so then there's like it follows this lady who's whose business is matchmaking people
Oh,
um
interesting.
and for like arranged marriages and like she makes people meet or whatever. But it's like funny and like interesting,
Uh-huh.
but I also like I also don't care. So like I can like watch it like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here. Oh, like I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop it, go walk my dog. Like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
But with like Stranger Things, I need to be like, don't talk to me.
Right, right. I'm focused. I'm in my
I
zone.
know. Like, because I think with the Song of Achilles, right? Like I was
Uh-huh.
reading it, and the same thing with like reading sometimes like real intense scenes.
Mhm.
And like there was like this one moment where it was like really intense, and I was like into it. And then my husband like starts talking to me, and I'm like, don't talk to me right now. Like, you're ruining the moment. And so I had to stop and start the chapter over, because I was like, I need to get back into it, because it was like, it's like that real climactic kind of feelings that you got.
Yeah.
And like he just kept like interrupting that. Bless his heart. He's being nice, he's nice, It's just me being, you're ruining the moment. He doesn't know. He's like, I need directions. I'm just like, don't talk to me.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, there's certain things like that. I totally get it.
It's like, it's silly, and like he doesn't get it, and because he can, like I said, he can do that, but I'm like, I can't. I think he finished Obi-Wan without me because of that. Like, I need to watch. Which, by the way, you said you really liked Obi-Wan, right?
I did, yes.
I have mixed feelings.
Okay.
I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, yeah.
But I've only watched like 3 or 4 episodes of it.
Yeah.
I feel like Obi-Wan's character is really good. I really like his character, and like the way that Ewan McGregor is, like, his acting, I really like it, and it reminds me of like Star Wars and how he was doing there. I think it's like the other characters that I'm like, I feel like their acting is just like not believable or something. I don't know. It's like we just start laughing. Like they're trying to be serious, and then me and my husband were like, are you kidding me? Like, and we just start like laughing at them. And I feel like we've just been having like a lot of moments like that. But I mean, it's still good. It's still interesting, But I think even like the young Leia, we recognized her from the other superhero movie from Disney, or no, Netflix or something. And she was like Shark Boy and Lava Girl's daughter. And
okay.
Yeah, we recognized her from there. We were like, oh, like that's that same actress. And she's so tiny. And like we're just getting distracted by how petite this.
Yeah, she's like, so adorable.
She's cute, but she's like, I'm 10. And I'm like, she looks like she's 6.
Right. Yeah, that's true. She does. You know what though? She nailed like a lot of Leia's mannerisms and stuff like that. Like she was a very believable young Leia.
Yeah, because Leia being like spirited, and like how she, she wants to go on these adventures. She wants to know like what's going on. Like, don't leave her out of it. And but it was also like we were just getting this. I don't know. We were just making fun of the show too much. It might just be me and my husband being jerks.
No, there are things like some of this stuff. It's like, do we really need it? But at the same time, I enjoyed it.
I think it was like the woman that's like hunting him.
Yeah,
that she like opened the door, and it was like immediately, where is he? And like,
right. Yeah.
They're like, come on, like you could have done that a little better. Like, and we just started laughing. Like we just have fun with it,
Yeah.
We're not like.
and there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to have fun with stuff like that. Yeah, especially when it's a franchise that's near and dear to your heart.
Oh yeah, that's another one that we need to. We started rewatching, like the movies with young Anakin. I guess what was it, the second? I don't know how it's like episode 1 and 2, and now we need to watch episode 3 in order to watch episode 4, which is the first movie that came out, right?
Right, exactly.
Like the order.
Yeah, they've got the order all messed up. Yeah.
So we it was like a couple of months ago that we watched episode 1 and 2. So we got to keep going with that, because I don't know if you want to we haven't decided yet if you want to watch like all those extra like in between stuff. like
Mm-hmm.
kind of go like in chronological order, but I'm like, that's a lot. Like
It is a lot, yeah. And I don't know. Like we had talked at one point about rewatching the Clone Wars series, but then it's
mm,
kind of like the Mandalorian fits in there too as well. So and that's a
Mandalorian I
great
really
show.
liked.
Oh yeah,
I love that. Like
yeah.
Pedro Pascal,
Yeah,
like
he's really good.
he did such a good job with that character.
Yeah.
And you didn't even see his face and you like know his emotions like with the
Mm-hmm.
mask. And I'm like,
Yes.
that's talent right there. Like
Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm excited to see more of Giancarlo Esposito's character too.
mm-hmm.
I'm really he's just like he's in The Boys as well. I don't know if you saw him in The Boys, but
Oh, oh yeah.
he's in
I think so.
he may
Yeah,
be
yeah,
in
yeah.
later episodes maybe you haven't seen yet, but
Maybe that's what it is. I'm like,
he's a really good
yeah.
villain. He's a
Ooh.
really good villain.
Yeah.
And I have not watched Breaking Bad, but I've seen some of the scenes that he was in
Mm-hmm.
Breaking Bad, and
Yeah.
he seems really good in that too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he was really good with the Mandalorian, but I think in Breaking Bad. Oh yeah, I remember him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he
Breaking Bad
played
was one of those
Gus.
shows that like I think I watched the first 2 seasons and then I kind of fell off, but like my husband finished it.
Hmm.
But I would like see it when he was watching it, and then like I'll ask him, "Oh, just tell me, it's okay. You can spoil it. I don't care." For some things, he won't spoil, but he's I feel like he needs to make his own little thing. He just doesn't want to get on camera. That's he watches so much, and he reads. He reads more than I do, but it's more of like he'll like re-listen to stuff because he does
Yeah.
like strictly audiobooks.
Okay.
And yeah, he flies through books. Like even when I was going through Dark Tower, he would like wait for me.
Hmm.
And then like I'll be like halfway through the book and then he'll start it and then still finish it before me.
That's funny.
I'm like, dang, he's so fast.
Hmm.
But yeah, I need to get him on camera one day.
Yeah. Well, and you know, if he's not comfortable having his face on camera, he could always do like just like a an artistic screen cover and have
Oh
his audio
yeah.
in the background,
Yeah.
voiceover,
Oh, that's a good
talk
idea.
tube. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So but yeah, it's nice to have an outlet to talk about this stuff, right?
I know. That's why that again, this is why I love booktube and like even just like because I know a lot of people like we focus obviously on books, but
Hmm.
I love when we can throw in like entertainment too,
Hmm.
and
I do too.
yeah, I feel like we all like it's still sort of like within the same realm. Even though there
Hmm.
are some booktubers that like I don't watch TV or I don't even own a TV. I think what's his Philip Chase. I think
Yeah.
he said something in one of his videos that he was like, I don't have a TV. And I was like,
Yeah, I don't think he does.
what?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, good
he
for
said
you.
he said every once in a while he'll catch something like he'll watch it on his laptop or something like
Yeah,
that. But
that's
it
interesting.
yeah it certainly frees up a lot of time.
For real. I'm seriously like thinking
Yeah.
about it, even just like we'll have those days where we like come home from work and I'm just on TikTok and it's just
Hmm.
like TikTok like is like the worst. It's like the best, but it's like the worst. But I'm like we know it's like a time waster,
Yeah, I haven't gotten sucked in by TikTok
Oh,
yet,
don't don't
but
don't fall down a rabbit hole.
YouTube is a big time suck for me though. It really
Hmm.
my watch later list is like I've got at least probably 15 videos on my watch later list
I
right now. I'm
know.
like, oh no, how am I ever and then I'll get through them one day and I'll be like, oh wow, I'm through them, and then there's a
The
bunch
next
more the next
day.
one. Like, oh no.
Hmm. Hmm. But
So
it's like it's cool though because it's like it's like our friends, right? Like
mhm,
the people that we interact
exactly.
with all the time, and I think that's like it's like catching up with people, but like
Hmm.
not. it's like weird. It's like with the online world, you know?
Yeah.
But what's cool is like with interacting more on it, like you grow like these genuine, I feel like genuine like friendships that are coming out of it. And I think that's what's one of my favorite things about it. Like obviously we can all talk about books all day, right?
Right.
But it's the interactions with everyone that I like love. Like even like doing this live stream with you, like it's cool. Like
yeah, it is. It's really awesome. And yeah, that really is the best part of BookTube. Yeah. Yeah, having the interactions with all the different people and
yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. Watching the videos is like catching up on their lives and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
like it's cool. Like I love doing like I think even like Phoenix rambles, like she's like
yeah,
talking
her
about
rambles
like,
are
oh
great.
yeah, like I've been doing this, but then she'll like throw other stuff in there, and I'm like, girl. So that's why I'm like I'm so excited to like have more time, like to get back into the swing of things, just because I've been missing it. Like it's like this anxiety that I've been having, like it's been too long since I posted something, and like I need to go film, right? But
Yeah.
so hopefully, like I just have so many ideas that I want to put on the channel, and like it's just finding that time to film. But
oh yeah, that really is the hardest part, right? Like some weeks it's really good and other weeks it isn't. And yeah, I've got a whole list of different ideas that I want to do too. And you ever get those times where you film a video and then you get to the end of it and you're like, oh, I don't have any more time, but I think I need to refilm that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I had one of those just last night. I was filming a review, my review for the Sandman series, because I wanted to do a review of the show compared to the books and stuff like that. And I got to the end of it and I'm like, man, that felt really rambly. I might have to re-record it. And then I looked at my app that I did the recording on. I'm like, yeah, that was 59 minutes.
Oh my god, you were into it.
I really rambled. So I'm probably gonna have to re-record it because
or maybe
figure a way to condense it, or
maybe
I'll just figure a way to edit a bunch of stuff out. Because
because even like my thing is like I'll ramble, you know, and I mean obviously here we're talking, how I talk, and so even like the book box video, I like pre-editing, because that video I think I think mine is like 15 minutes or something like that, right? Pre-editing, it was like 40 something.
Oh wow,
and it was because I kept going on these rambles and these tangents that had nothing to do with the box. I was like, oh, this book reminds me of this book, and then I just started talking about like this other book that had nothing to do with the book. I was like, what? And I think when I finished editing, it was like 26 minutes. And I was like, that is too long. Like, and then I went back and I looked at it again and I was like, okay, this tangent can go. This other tangent can go.
Right.
And so then I got it down to the 15 minutes. And so a lot of the cuts, if you like see it or whatever. It's because,
I watched it.
Yeah, like it's because I went on a ramble and I took
nice. Oh yeah.
I feel you. I feel you.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been plenty of times that I've had to cut way down. Like I filmed a 40-minute video and after the cutting room floor it's like 15 minutes. And
it happens.
It does.
I mean, but then it shows especially with you like saying it's like 50 minutes for the Sandman, like it shows like you were really like into it and you had some thoughts. So now I'm what were your thoughts?
And maybe I'll just see if I can edit it down first instead of re-recording it. But I figure if I can get it down to 30 minutes, that's probably not bad.
No,
So
no,
yeah,
no. That
we'll
sounds bad.
see what I can do with that, because I did talk a lot about it stuff, but there are some things I can probably cut out. So
Hmm. It's
I
just with those videos, like some of them that are too long. Like
yeah.
I know like people that do like bookshelf tours and they're like over
Hmm.
an hour, and I'm like,
Oh, I
that's
know.
like that's a movie. Like
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah, that's why with my bookshelf tour, my last bookshelf tour that I did it as a series.
yeah,
Like I did one shelf at a time and then just made it a series of videos. So you don't have to sit there for 50
yeah,
minutes or an hour, right? But
yeah.
yeah, some of those bookshelf tours can be really intense and long. And
Or sometimes I I'll watch it, but then I'll only watch like 15 minutes and then I'll come back to it and watch another 15 minutes. Like you break it up, you know what
hmm
I mean? But yeah, I know with like my own videos, like I feel like I try not to have them too long
hmm
because I know the reason why mine will be too long is because of those random tangents that like
right.
like a la Stephen King, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen King has a lot of those.
Mhm. I think
um,
that was why Steve from like Steve Talks Books
mhm.
and stuff, like that's why he like fell off the series. He was like, I'm so over King's tangents.
Yeah, I
I
get
was like,
it.
I was all about it, because
Hmm.
like backstory, um
Yeah,
but I can understand when it's like too much. So
exactly. Salem's Lot was really good. There wasn't a lot of fluff in Salem's Lot, so
okay.
that's my favorite Stephen King book,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Yeah,
See, I
it's
want to go back and like read through all of them. And like
hmm
I think Salem's Lot was like a second one, right?
I don't know, but
Published.
yeah, it might have been. I'm
Hmm.
not sure, but
Hmm.
I read it in between Dark Tower 4 and 5,
Hmm.
because when Wolves of the Calla has a lot of spoilers for Salem's Lot. So
Pear Callahan.
yeah, exactly. Peter Callahan. Yeah. So but yeah, I really struggle with Stephen King. He can be kind of hit or miss for me. Like
Mhm.
it, I almost DNF'd. I
Oh,
just it was
really?
way too much filler. But then I picked up
Mm,
the audiobook and I was able to finish it just fine.
okay.
So, but
See,
yeah.
I'm scared. Like Pennywise, even just seeing him in the movies, I'm like, ooh,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
scary.
yeah. It's definitely creepy,
Mhm,
but it's a good book. It's a
mhm.
really good book. Yeah, I would recommend it. I don't think I'd read it again, but I enjoyed reading it the
Okay,
first time. So
I can feel that. I can see that because
yeah,
I think it and The Stand, um, are two of those that I'm like, oh, they're so long.
I started The Stand and I temporarily DNF'd it. I'm still gonna finish it
Mhm,
at some point, but yeah, it was just way too much for me at the
mhm,
and I think maybe part of it was reading, because I started reading it. We were in the in the wild throes of the pandemic, right? So it
mm,
maybe it hit too close to home. I don't
yeah.
know, but
There's a TV show too.
yeah, a couple of them actually. There was a
Yeah.
mini series back in the '90s with Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe was in it, and then
Oh, I didn't know.
and I watched that one, but I haven't seen the new mini series
Uh-huh.
on. Is it Paramount Plus? It's on.
I think I think
I think it's on
so.
Paramount Plus. Yeah.
I don't know. My husband was watching it, and it's like
Okay.
caught like a scene,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy."
I know. I know Whoopi Goldberg plays Mother Abigail, which I'm
Oh
very
yeah,
yeah.
she's in it.
I love Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
So
Oh, she's so talented.
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch her
Yeah.
on The View.
Yeah. I've seen some episodes of The View, I
Yeah.
like her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's funny. Like whenever because she cracks me up with The View because she acts as like the host, right? And so then
Yeah.
she'll bring up the topic and then let everyone else kind of do their thing, and she's sort of like a moderator, I should say, right?
Yeah.
But then sometimes she's like, actually, I do have something to say. Let me tell you about yourself.
That's great. I can see her doing that.
She's just like, because she doesn't do it often. But then when she does, like, she's got some thoughts. She's like, no, it's actually like this. So don't tell me it's the other way, because that doesn't make any sense. Like, she's like quick about it too, and it's funny. And like, I can respect that, because I feel like I'm sort of like that. Like, I let people, like, whenever it comes to like controversial topics, like, I try not to bring it up.
Yeah.
But then when people do, I'm like, oh, you opened this door.
Right, exactly. So now you're gonna hear about it.
That's me. That's me 100%. It's like, I try not to, because people get like uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's brought up,
fair game.
Fair game.
Yeah. Controversy is interesting. I try not to get into it either. Like, so part of the reason my Sandman video, I think, went on so long was because I did deal with some of the controversy, because there's a lot of controversy out there for the TV series. Like, a lot of fans were up in arms because they cast black people in certain roles that weren't black in the comic book series. And I'm like, guys, why is that big a deal? And they cast women in roles that were originally male in the comic books. It's like, why?
But what's the problem?
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to they're trying to cushion their prejudices in I'm just a purist of the comic books. No, you're just prejudiced.
Yeah.
Be honest.
You know what? Keep on your video.
Right. I will. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in the video. But that was one of the things that like added a lot to it. But no, I'm keeping it in the video because
that makes no sense. Like, come on.
So one of the characters, Desire, in the series, so I'll just kind of give you an idea.
Real quick, Epic is here.
Oh, hey, what's up, Epic? Welcome, man.
We're just talking controversy.
Right.
Sorry, God.
So Desire. So Desire. Dream is one of 7 beings that they all personify different experiences of human life. So like desire, dream, destiny, despair, things like that. Right. So Desire, they cast Mason Alexander Park, who is a non-binary person, in the role of Desire. And there was a lot of upheaval in the fan base about they shouldn't have done that and everything. It's like, guys,
but why not?
The character is non-binary, like in the actual comic books.
Yeah.
And it was written back in the 90s, so it was very.
Oh wow, that's ahead of its time then.
Yeah, it's very ahead of its time. But Desire was written as a non-binary character. Why is this a big deal?
So then why is that a big deal?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like they're like, oh well, they're just doing this to promote their woke agenda. It's like, no, it was funny because I saw
my eyes can't roll hard enough.
I know, exactly. I saw a comment from Neil. Somebody had said something like that, and Neil made the comment, well, no, the Sandman has always been woke. You just weren't you just weren't paying attention.
You just weren't paying attention, all right?
Yeah.
I love that. Yes.
That's one of the things I loved about Sandman was like back in the 90s, I mean, he had trans characters in there, and treated in a respectful way. So he had trans characters in there, non-binary characters in there, gay characters in there. Like he really pushed the envelope for the time because he cares about it.
Yeah. I like that because people get afraid like of the pushback from people, that they're going to be doing this. But I really like that nowadays, where there's more people that are quick to call that out. because I
Yes.
feel like back then there wasn't enough of that, and so
Hmm.
that's why it's like it kind of persisted. Not that it
Yeah.
wasn't confronted, but like it persists because not enough people will call it out. But then
Right.
now that people are calling it out, the defense might go, "Oh, you're woke, or you're this, or you're that," and it's like, no, I'm being honest and telling you how it is. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
or
It.
like how people were like talking about like Hermione, right, in
Mhm.
like Harry Potter. Like nowhere in the book does it say Hermione is a white girl. The only thing
Right.
that it says is like she's got big hair and you know all
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. And so I think there was like, I think in the Broadway play or something like with the Cursed Child, I don't know, something where like Hermione was cast as like by a black person, and
Hmm.
like people were like up in arms, Hermione's not black and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, it was just an actress in the movie
Right.
that just so happened to be white, but there's nowhere in the book that says that she's white. Like, so
Right.
like what's the problem?
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's not like we live in the South in the 1960s anymore, right? It's like, come on, you know?
It's just because it's like there's when it comes to like representation,
Yeah.
um people just get upset whenever things are deviating from the status quo, right?
Hmm.
And so, but even back in the day, when it came to characters of color, like they were played
Hmm.
by white people in blackface, like or in brown
Oh,
face.
yeah, they were.
You know what I mean? And so even, but it's still, even though now like there's more diversity in like films and stuff, like there's
Mhm.
more of that, and like that's why like I'm glad, like, you know, if the actor is a good actress or actor or whatever and they
Mhm.
got the role, then like who cares, right? But
Exactly.
if they
Yeah.
deserve to have that role, then they deserved it, right? And but
Yeah,
then when people are like,
absolutely.
well, it's actually blah blah blah, that's just them showing, like you said, it's just them showing their prejudice and just being ridiculous. But then there's also like in Hollywood, like l- a lot of roles that should be played by like Hispanics or black people
Mhm.
or whatever, and but then they're cast to white people who can pass as that. So I think even now, like the newer one that, and I only knew about this because like I followed John Leguizamo on Instagram.
Mhm.
Um, I think the Fidel, there's like a Fidel Castro movie. No, I think it's like the sister, something like the role of Fidel Castro. He's a
Mhm.
Cuban, right?
Right.
Is was given to John what's his name? John Franco.
Mhm.
They're like, but that's a Cuban, and you're giving there's so many Cuban actors. You know, it's like the reverse of that, but it's like what, I don't know. It's like it's hard to like draw the line sometimes
Mhm.
because then there are those things that where the race should matter,
Mhm.
but then there's some where it doesn't. You know,
Right.
it
Yeah, that was one of the things with oh, what was that they made a movie of, was it Deus Ex Machina? I
I don't
can't
know.
remember, but Scarlett Johansson was cast when it really should have been an Asian
Oh
actress.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember what the name of the movie was off the top of
Hmm.
my head. Maybe it was Deus Ex Machina,
Maybe.
um, but yeah, like they cast her when it really should have been an Asian actress.
Hmm.
Just yeah,
Like there's some where it should,
yeah,
but that's more so like you're holding back a community that
right,
would be great in that. But then there's some where it, like in the Sandman, where it doesn't matter. You have free
right,
liberty to do
hmm,
whatever, and people are gatekeeping their vision of what they saw in like the comic books, right? That
right,
doesn't really matter though. But
yeah,
it's
exactly,
weird. It's like a weird thing to like, I don't know. It's like I see it both ways, you know, but
yeah,
like people want things to be like pure to how they had it in like books. And it's
right,
like but for who cares?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I
It's
don't know.
interesting. It happened way back in the day with I don't know if you read Ursula Le Guin,
Not
the
yet.
Earthsea series.
I
So
want to.
the main character in her Earthsea series is black. Get is a black man, or a
Mhm.
black child at the start of the series anyway. And so there was a TV miniseries that they made like back in the 90s, I think it was, of the Ercy series.
Mhm.
And they cast a white guy in the role of Ged, and it's like there no and she was livid. She was so upset, like
Mhm.
she completely disavowed the adaptation altogether, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't do that, like,
Yeah. Because in that case, I would be like, if she said it in the book,
yeah.
and then it's already an underrepresented community,
Hmm.
like, and then you still take that away, then it's just like, come on, like, what were you thinking? Like,
Right.
who approved that? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like, but then you see it. Oh yeah. Oh, he did you see his
Oh,
vlog? Did you see the vlog that they did together?
yes, I did. The
Oh,
vlog was
that was so
great. I loved
nice.
it. Oh yeah, that I think he's talking about the same. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Definitely read the comics. They're amazing, and the show was amazing too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need to get to it. Yeah, we're just in the middle of Stranger Things.
oh
Trying
yeah,
to catch up with Stranger Things.
yeah. Stranger Things is great.
Mhm.
It's funny. So like in the comics, Lucifer, for instance, uh, Neil Gaiman got his inspiration for Lucifer's character in the story
Mhm.
from why can I not remember his name? Um, Ziggy Stardust. What's the guy?
Who?
Not Ziggy Stardust was the album that he made. Okay,
Oh,
now
okay.
now that's gonna bug me. Yeah, David Bowie. There we go.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
David Bowie.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so he got the inspiration for his
Oh,
portrayal of Lucifer from David Bowie,
that's pretty
and
cool.
yeah, and so like yeah, David Bowie was a huge inspiration for that character, and now the lady that played Brienne in Game of Thrones, she was cast as Lucifer for the show.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Yeah, it's a really good pick. She does
Good.
an amazing job.
I like her.
Yeah, but and
She's a
and
good
and
character.
and it fit perfectly. And there was fan uproar about it, of course. It's like, okay, in the comic book story, Lucifer is genderless. You know, so I don't
Yeah.
get the big deal.
What's the
But
problem?
yeah, she was great though. She was
Yeah. Yeah, I was
fantastic.
gonna ask, like, how was she? And she
Oh
was.
yeah.
I already expect greatness from her because she's a really great
Yeah,
actress.
I loved her in Game of Thrones, and I loved her
I
in The Sandman.
know.
She was really
Even
good.
even the character of Brienne, like,
Hmm.
I loved
Yeah.
because I feel like now we're back to Game of Thrones.
Right?
With Brienne, right? She was just like this character of nobility, right? Like
Hmm.
she or of like loyalty. I think
Hmm.
like she really represented like loyalty and like how even though she was transporting Jamie, right? She was doing
Hmm.
it for loyalty for um what's her name? See, this is why I need to reread the series. I'm
Yeah,
forgetting everyone's name.
for Catelyn.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for Lady
Hmm.
Cat. And yeah, I loved how she portrayed that, how she showed that in the show.
Hmm.
Um, like she's just such a great actress. Like I need to see her. He says I loved her battle with Morpheus. I'm like, I need to
Oh
see
yeah,
it. I
yeah.
need to
That was really
see
good.
it.
And it's interesting that was one change in the
Mhm.
comic books. There was a battle with Morpheus, but it was a different demon. But in the show, it was actually Lucifer versus Morpheus, and
Oh, that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
really really good. So
I need to watch it. I need
yeah,
to. There's so much.
there are just way too many shows and way too
So
many
much.
books to read, and So I have a question. If you had to pick a book that you think needs to be adapted, what would you say it is?
Ooh. Oh, that's hard.
Right.
See, I would say, see, in my head, the first thing that's popping up right now is like Dark Tower, but that would be really hard to do.
It would.
I feel like if they were to do that, like you need to like respect the story
Exactly.
and
I heard bad things about the movie, and so
I want
I
to
haven't
hate
even
watch
seen it. Yeah,
it.
yeah, right. I want to hate watch it too, just to see what it's like. But then,
Because I
I
know it's
heard
not gonna be like good, you know.
I
But
heard that I heard that the movie was actually designed as a sequel to the books, though. So that might
ah,
make me watch it a little bit differently. So you
maybe just
finished the
thinking
Dark
that.
Tower series entirely, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
apparently in the movie he has the Horn of Eld.
right.
So
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
so yeah, so so
Okay, so that
they
would
said
make more sense.
yeah, it was planned as a sequel apparently. I
Okay.
just recently found that out because before I was like there's no way I can't I'm gonna hate
Yeah.
watch that, but yeah,
And
but
then
maybe now.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
the next one in my head that I'm thinking is Song of Achilles, but we already have that with Troy. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
different, you know? It's still
Mm-hmm.
different. And I'm like, let me look at my books. Like, what would be a good one? Game of Thrones is already done, right?
Right.
Then we have what was it? Ready Player One. We already have that.
Yeah, right.
Let me see. See, Lord of the Rings. We have that. Like,
Yeah.
what else? Oh, Senlin Ascends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard really good things about that one.
That would be a good. That would be a good TV series. That would be. That's my answer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And now
Yeah.
I have not read this series yet, but I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about Kings of the
Mhm.
Wild.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. The it's like the band getting back together, right? It's
yeah,
like
and
Marines
what
or
would be
something.
really funny is if they did an adaptation of that one,
Mhm.
they should have all the roles played by the Stones. They should bring all they should cast all the Stones in those roles. That
Yeah.
would be funny, but
Oh no.
or
Hold on one
yeah,
second, because
sure, you're
I
good.
locked my door and my husband's trying to come in.
Oh, sure, yeah, go for it. You're good.
2 seconds. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold
Okay.
on. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I know I know we've been going a little over 2 hours here, so
No, yeah,
you're
it's because
probably.
I walked my dog and we had like the child safety lock on our door.
Mhm.
So they just came home. They're good. They're going in the room. That's fine. But they I put the child safety lock so they couldn't open the door.
Mhm.
I heard my daughter, Mom. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. I
Oh,
was
Epic said Rage of Dragons. Huh.
Yeah, Rage of Dragons it does have really good representation.
Mm,
I did not like Rage of Dragons, but not because of that. I just did not.
you didn't
Uh,
vibe with it?
yeah, I didn't vibe with it. It wasn't for me. But I did like the representation was really strong in that book, and it's
Oh, nice.
nice to see more books. Um, being written from different cultural perspectives
Mm-hmm.
instead of your standard Victorian era or Renaissance era,
Mm-hmm.
European fantasy,
Yeah.
things like that. So I really like that, and so that is a really good book for that.
See,
So
I gotta pick that one. I gotta pick up Rage of Dragons. What's this other one? I still haven't read it yet. Oh, Black Leopard, Red Wolf. That's another one that like I really want to read, and it's supposed to be
I've
like
heard good things
within
about that. Yeah.
Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the Senlin Ascends, like I feel like that would be really cool because here I go back with Game of Thrones. I feel like what made the Game of Thrones really successful as a
Yeah.
TV series was that it wasn't that heavy with the magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's the same with Sunland Ascends. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
still like mystical and fantastical things on it, but it's not overloading with the magic that would like confuse people, or and you can reach like a bigger audience with that. So that's why I think Sunland Ascends would be like a really good, like you should read it. I think I still have to
Okay.
read the last book of it.
Okay.
But it's just been a big gap, and now I'm like, I need to reread the whole thing before I get to the final.
Right.
So
Yeah, it is
it's
a
really
series
good.
I do want to
Yeah.
read. There's some, like I want to read the David Bod trilogy. The
That one too.
yeah,
Mhm.
so many good ones that
Mhm.
I've got on my to be read list, and
Yeah.
I've got a lot of self-pub works that I want to
Yeah. And
get
like
through as well.
with and then back to like the different kinds of fantasy too, like I really like that idea of like now there's more attention being given to fantasy that is different from like the traditional stuff. Like I want to read Black Sun by Rebecca
Oh
Roanhorse too.
yeah, I've been hearing about
Yeah,
that
and I
one.
think that one's more like Native American
Mm-hmm.
kind of
I
um
think so. Yeah.
fantasy. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the sound of that, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
like nothing against like medieval fantasy or anything. Like I still like it too, obviously. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's been done, you know, it's been done a
Mm-hmm.
lot. So it's cool to see things um like being pushed more, like you said with the
Yeah.
David Bod trilogy and stuff, like, or even like the Stardust Thief. I think it's sort of
Mm-hmm.
like a spin on like Aladdin or something. Like,
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know a
Mhm.
whole lot about it, but I am excited to read it. I've heard good
Yeah,
things.
like it sounds like a weird like Aladdin because it's like there's like a lamp and there's
Hmm.
you know it's like it sounds like Aladdin but not,
Right.
you know. So I'm like I'm down with it. So
Yeah,
mhm.
absolutely. Yeah, that's cool. So many books to read, and like I personally think, have you read House on the Cerulean Sea?
Not yet. That's
Oh,
another
it's so I think that one would make a really good movie. I don't know about a TV
Oh,
series, but I think
nice.
it would make a good movie.
Yeah,
It's just really cute and heartwarming.
I'd watch it.
Um, oh yeah, totally. I would too.
Even just the
And
premise of the book, like, sounds really, like, up my alley. I just I haven't watched it. I haven't read
right.
it yet. I mean,
Well, it's definitely good. It was one of my favorite
mhm.
books of last year. It was really, really
Oh,
good.
nice. Now I'm like, I gotta read that one. I gotta read, The Ocean at the End of the Lane.
Yeah, yeah, definitely got to read that one.
I
Yeah.
gotta read I'm gonna make, like, a whole video of just, like, I read Chaz's favorite books. Like the
That would be cool.
Sandman. I gotta read the Sandman. I gotta
Right?
so
All
many
these
books.
things.
I know.
Just the TBR grows.
And it never ends. And that's okay. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, just recently, like how do you keep track of the books that you read? Do you keep track of them?
I do. I just started this year. Like I'm a real big mood reader. So
Mm,
I so like well I usually I've always kept track of them on Goodreads, just
uh-huh.
you know, marking it as read or currently reading or whatever. But
Mhm.
this year I kind of created a plan for the whole year with elective slots that I could fit in some mood reading, but trying to
Yeah.
keep it a little structured. So far it's going okay, but I put
Nice.
together a whole spreadsheet for the year, and here's what I want to read this month and this
Oh
month and this month.
man.
So
So
yeah,
structured.
yeah, but it's not working totally like I had hoped it would, because I'm just I have to
Yeah.
be in the mood sometimes. So,
Yeah. I
but
feel you.
it's going okay so far. What about
It,
you?
it's sort of like the same but different. I
Yeah.
do more like right now I'm redoing. I have like a little notebook. I'm trying to see. Oh, here it is. I have like a little notebook that
Hmm.
I've been reworking because like before I had like a TBR like like with keeping track of it on Goodreads, I would like confuse myself. Like,
Yeah.
and so because then you get like your list and it's like sometimes I don't have service, right?
Right.
So I started like writing down like books that I own and books that I want to read and like
Mhm.
making sort of like a checklist. But then I
Mhm.
got overwhelmed by my checklist. So then like so now I'm like redoing it. And so then like I have now I'm just keeping like a book log and it's just like a
Oh,
notebook
there
with
you
like
go.
with like all the books that I've read. And so I took out the pages with the book, like what I wanted to read, and now I'm just gonna write down what I have read. And like I'm still doing it, but it's just I feel like just seeing the list of the things that I want to read is like overwhelming. Like,
Oh, I
keep
completely
adding things.
understand.
Every time I watch a booktube video, I'm like, oh, I want to read that too.
Right. Yeah, same here. It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the time where like I start scrolling through like Amazon and like Barnes and Noble website and all that. I'm just like,
Right.
girl.
And I'm the same way if I hear a new series TV series is coming that's been based on a book, like I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now I need to read that, because like one of the few Neil Gaiman books that I have not read yet is Anansi Boys, and it's being adapted on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I have to read Anansi Boys, and
Yeah. I
and
think Pachinko too. It's not fantasy, but uh it's like a historical fiction book, but
okay,
it's like everyone that's read Pachinko is like, it's one of the best books I've ever read. And like
I've
they just
heard that.
they
Yeah.
just made a TV series for it too. And I'm like, oh, I
Okay.
think I want to watch that too.
Right. Yeah, it happens, and luckily for his Dark Materials, I'd already read the books.
Yeah. How was the
Uh,
TV show for that one?
oh, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Uh-huh.
It's a high quality adaptation.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
very happy with it.
See, that's
They
another one
changed
I
some
haven't
stuff, but it's I think the changes were reasonable.
read.
So yeah,
Okay.
so that yeah, that one's good, and there's just so many. So if a new series, if I hear about a new series coming
Yeah.
out, I usually am like, okay, I need to read the book.
I
And
know.
yeah, but I didn't do that with The Expanse, and I'm kind of glad I didn't,
Mhm.
because having watched The Expanse and then I read the first book,
Mhm.
I had those I had a visual for the characters in my head, kind of
Oh,
like you with
nice.
Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. You already had those
Mhm.
characters visually in your head, and that helped with the TV series, or that helped with the book.
Nice.
And I was really impressed. The first season of The Expanse is almost beat for beat exactly like the book. It was really well done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, but very, very rarely do I watch a series before reading a book, but every once in a while I
Yeah.
will. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm
So,
like thinking about like all these different shows and I'm like, there's so much.
I
But
know.
but like with The Expanse, because I think that the comparison that I hear is like, it's Game of Thrones in space. But I'm
Hmm.
like, but why is everything Game of Thrones?
Right. It is warranted with The Expanse, though. It
Oh, okay. Oh.
it does feel like Game of Thrones in space in a lot of ways, and uh, The Expanse books, I would say, are good books for fantasy readers. So,
See, I
like
have the first one.
yeah,
I haven't read it
if you're kind of new to sci-fi or don't read a lot of
yet.
sci-fi, you will feel very at home with
Mhm.
at least with the Leviathan Wakes. I haven't read the other
Yeah.
books yet, but
See, but
it's
like
a
I
good
like
source for
sci-fi.
fantasy readers. Yeah.
I think even like what's this one from Christopher Paolini?
Hmm.
To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. Like I
Yeah.
like that one.
Okay.
It's
I
super
haven't read
descriptive.
it yet.
Yeah.
I've read the Inheritance Cycle,
Mhm.
so and I really enjoyed that, and
Mhm.
I'm really excited because I don't know if you heard, but it got picked up by Disney Plus.
Ooh,
He
I did
officially
not hear that.
he officially announced it last week. I think it got picked up by Disney Plus. So
Good for
yeah, I
him.
know it's really great because the original movie was awful.
I know. I was gonna say that.
I'm
I was like,
like,
the movie was trash. And I
yeah,
also say that a lot. And I'm
it
like,
really
yo, that
was.
movie was.
The only
Or like the
good,
Avatar movie was like.
yeah, exactly. Same here. Yeah, it's the only good thing about the original Aragon movie was the guy that played the Shade, and I can never remember the actor's name, but he played Rumpelstiltskin in
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
he's excellent. I will watch
Mhm.
anything with him.
He is a good. Yeah.
Robert something. He's
He's a
really
good.
good.
Yes.
But other than that, yeah, that movie was trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
really bad. So
He's really good. I remember like with him in the Rumpelstiltskin role, like that was there was a lot with that show too. What was that show called?
Yeah, I was trying to remember it.
What?
Once Upon a Time.
Is it the
Yeah,
Once
Once
Upon
Upon
a
a
Time?
Time.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, that show, like there was a lot in that show that was like, extra drama and like dramatics for like no reason, right? But um his character was like pulled me in a lot because he was so evil in a good way. It's like I don't know how to I always like a good villain.
Oh yeah, I like a good villain too. Yeah, and he was really good at being creepy too. Like he was like the creep factor was high with him, and I'm like, yeah, he's perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was so good. I really liked his characters.
Yeah. I never finished the whole series. Like it got kind of old after a while, but yeah, I still look back fondly on his character.
Yeah, and I think I did finish it, but like I don't remember. So that kind of shows like
kind of forgettable. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, because I'm pretty sure I did, but I don't know. It's like Smallville. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked Smallville, but they could have taken out a big chunk in the middle and just squeezed it together.
We always just make fun of like the CW or like like those kind of shows where they add those extra dramatics for like no reason. So then like we use that as like a reference of like whenever people are being like dramatic, I'm like, oh, all right, Smallville. Because it'll literally be like the scene that I struggled to find this scene, and we were trying real hard to find this scene because it was like the perfect example of like extra dramatics for no reason. Like I think Clark Kent, like he was like going through something, and then he like walks into the coffee shop, and he just like leans on the wall. He's like, like a pensive look. and so like Lana comes over and she's like, what's wrong? And it's just like, why you walk into the coffee shop like that?
Right.
Go get a coffee. You'll be all right. You feeling down? Go home.
Right.
So we were trying to find it for the longest, but they do that a lot on the show, and we're just like, all right, dramatic, like, all right, Smallville.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. I'll tell you what though. Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite Lex Luthor ever.
He did that role good.
I have not seen anyone that can pull off Lex Luthor like he did.
Who wasn't it? That other actor that was like in the new DC movies that plays Lex Luthor. Like he's all right, but I think of him too much as like the Facebook. You know what I mean? Like
I'm not bit. Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a fan of his Lex Luthor at all.
Like it's all right, but it's too like I see him too like Lex Luthor is supposed to be like a real smart character anyways. Like he's supposed to be like smart, but I think his portrayal of it is too like geeky
Yeah.
without it being suave. And like Lex Luthor's supposed to be like sort of suave, like rich guy kind of thing, and like
Right.
his is like I know math, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know
I'm kind of a hater on DC in general right now. I'm
with these movies.
they tried way too hard to do they tried way too hard to copy Marvel.
Yes.
And they can't pull it off. Like,
yeah, I don't think it's doing like they're still fun to watch.
Yeah, like the Wonder
but,
Woman movie was really good. Like the first
Yeah.
one, and the second one was okay, but it wasn't
all
as
right,
good.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother with Aquaman. I'm not wasting my time.
I think I saw
Just
the first
yeah.
one, and I think like again, not memorable. Like it's not
Yeah.
it's not iconic. Like you expect them to be iconic, like Iron
Mhm.
Man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Mhm.
iconic. Or Thor, iconic, you know?
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy, iconic. Like they're just home runs nonstop, like with Marvel.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yep, they
the
really are.
Spider-Man movies. The
Yeah.
last one, that was
It was
awesome. It was so
amazing.
good. You
Yeah,
know?
it was. And even within
Mhm.
Marvel, you know, the Sony side of Marvel has a ton of misses too, though. So it even
Mhm.
happens within Marvel. Like the Sony Spider-Verse, it's like, what are you guys
Wait,
doing?
the animated one?
No, like the Morbius movie and like the Venom movies and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that, you know? I'm
yeah.
like,
You're right. Yeah, for
what
those
are
it was a little.
what are you guys doing?
But I was about to say I was like Into the Spider-Verse, the
Oh, Into
animated
the
one,
Spider-Verse was amazing.
perfection.
And
I was like, I know you're not
I'm
talking about that
I'm so
one.
excited for the sequel to it, which I guess has been delayed now.
Oh,
But
they delay it so long as they get it right. Like,
yeah, exactly.
that's
I'm the same
fine.
way. But yeah, Into
Mhm.
the Spider-Verse was brilliant. Like the art,
Yes,
the art choreography and everything was just out of
perfection.
this world.
Like, I
Yeah.
can't even think of anything. Like, I feel like if you find like if anybody finds something wrong with it, I feel like you're
Mhm.
nitpicking and you're looking for something wrong because I felt like that was brilliant. It
Yeah.
was so good. It's one of my favorites. Like if I were to make a list of like my all-time favorite movies, like that's on there. Like,
Absolutely. Mine
mhm.
too. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think the best case scenario for Sony is to sell Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse back, sell it to Disney,
Yeah.
put Marvel all under one roof and do video games. That's what you're good at. Sony's good at video games. They're not great at movies.
That's
They're just
funny.
yeah.
That's funny.
Oh.
Just do video games. You'll be all right.
That's my hot take.
I love it.
Oh
man.
Well, we're getting 2.5 hours in.
Oh wow.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been awesome. We just
Just rambling.
yeah. I told you everything is a free
I love
game,
it.
right? So
Yeah.
but I do want to respect your time, and I know it's getting
Okay. Yeah.
late, and I've got some stuff I got to get done too.
Same.
So
But it's
but
been awesome hanging out with you.
it
Thank you for
it
having me. It's been
has
fun.
been awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Ercy, for joining me, and
Yes.
we'll have to do this again.
Yes,
It's been
for
awesome.
sure. Definitely.
So,
I'm down for even if it's like even with like other people too, like a little panel. That'd be cool
yeah,
too.
absolutely. That would be amazing. I do want to do that eventually. I'm thinking about doing like a Chaz and Friends remix.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Have 2 or 3 people back at once, and
Yeah.
do like a panel. I think that'd be fun. So,
I'd be down for that too.
yeah.
Just let me know.
Okay, I will definitely. Well, thanks so much for everybody who tuned in, and if you're watching on the rewatch, make sure you subscribe to Ercy's channel.
Oh, thanks.
She's absolutely brilliant, and I don't know why she doesn't have more subscribers yet, but she will after this video. I have a feeling.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, and make sure to subscribe to her, and make sure you guys read more books. We'll talk to you
Yes.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.